Hello, neighborinos. I'm here. Cameron's here.
What's up, people?
And this morning, we're doing the important work of talking with famous people. We're live streaming and we're sharing the good news. This morning's good news is as follows. If loving cutlets is wrong, I don't want to be right. That's fair.
Will there
Oh,
be a theme song today? I
just
think there's some soul in that theme song. I think you've got a real potential for a song
if loving cutlets is wrong, I don't want to be right.
there.
Yeah,
Living colors is wrong. I don't wanna be right.
I think you're onto something there, Cameron. If loving cutlets is wrong, I don't want to be right.
Right, right.
My voice isn't working very well on the higher register this morning, unfortunately. But I tell you who really loves their cutlets. I think you already know. It's the Woodland Friends.
You are.
I put out a lot of cutlets this morning for the Woodland Friends. 2 full cup loads of cutlets. And as soon as I walked out with my cup of cutlets, the squirrels started talking to each other. They're like, shitter, 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 shitter. And then, as soon as I pour some cutlets on the wall, the three of the little, I call them sparrows, but they're not really exactly sparrows. They don't look like sparrows in LA anymore. They have a little bit of dark patch. They're like different colors. They're like all evenly tannish brown, like a regular sparrow. Acacia, good morning. Namaste. 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 Namaste, namaste, namaste. You know what happened? I ate some of Cameron's delicious Indian food last night, and now I can't stop saying namaste.
It's subliminal.
Yeah, I keep trying to put a red dot on my forehead too.
See, I would not have known that that was Alicia there.
No, that's acacia.
Oh, Acacia. I just would not have caught any of that
What?
at all.
Believe you me, Cameron, I was in the same boat as you the first time I saw that name.
Yeah.
I also did not know what the letters were or what they meant or anything. But I've had the conversation with Acacia, and she's explained it to me.
That's cool. That's all good. I was really emoji resistant when they came out.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought this didn't come out on a typewriter. I didn't need any of this, but there's no way to resist emojis by now. Otherwise, you won't be able to read Acacia's name. So,
Well, I
all
don't think
right, Acacia.
Acacia's just using a weird font. I don't think that quite qualifies as an emoji. But I think using emojis is actually very much an FE thing.
Is that a not Cameron thing?
That's your blind spot.
Yeah, I'm not into emojis.
Because emojis are basically saying, let me express to you cues that make sure you don't misunderstand me.
Oh wow.
Like putting like a smiley after something that might be read as snarky or something like that. That's all very FE stuff.
See, I don't even know if it's not every time like ironic or a joke or like I really don't get it when I. Maybe it's because I haven't gotten it at all. When I've seen the emojis, like the context never meant anything to me. Perhaps.
Mm. Well, I don't use many emojis myself, but
I'll use the heart. If someone sends me a text or a picture of something that I love, even if it's a man, I send the heart. And I have to think about that at first. Do men send each other hearts? I do.
well, yeah, because heart just means I love that thing,
Yeah,
whatever it
I
is.
love that motorcycle exhaust.
Yeah. I use thumbs up when I don't want to. have to say any words.
The thumbs up is so crazy though. Do you use the like white Caucasian thumbs up, or you've got to choose what race you are in the thumbs up sometimes,
Yeah,
depending on where you are.
I just choose the first thumbs up I find.
Okay, because I've had like the first 100 thumbs up I ever got were like not your typical Caucasian colored skin. Not that I care at all. I'm not racist. Everyone's great. But then when my ginger who I work for sent me, are you burning your fart?
Yeah.
You need to aim the camera good so the folks at home can appreciate. But okay, so Ginger sends me a white thumbs up, and I'm like, is that just being ironic and racist? And I'm like, no, I guess that actually represents her thumb, you know. So, but then if they all have colors, like you're like, I'm the white man's thumb.
Yeah,
It just seems so
yellow's.
weird.
Jeremiah Fix makes a good point here. Yellow's kind of a default. It's like the Simpsons. Are the
Yeah.
Simpsons white people? They're yellow. Who knows?
Yeah. Good morning, Winston's mom. Good morning, all friends. Especially to the squirrels. I have a whole cutlet story. I have a whole packaged cutlet story. I don't know if anyone wants to hear it.
Let's hear it, Cameron. Let's
So-
hear about your packaged cutlets.
Let me prepare my brain for it. Smoke a bowl. I'm going to tell you about the packaged cutlets. Okay, so I always worked at whatever job I could come across since I was as young as I could. And so one of my second or third jobs by the time I was 12, maybe 10 or 12, was delivering the Arcadia Tribune newspaper. I chose it because you got to do it after school. You didn't have to get up at 4 in the morning and do it. You could deliver it at 4 p.m., which is great. But also, I was a wiggly kid and didn't understand life at all, and thought, I want to express my wiggles in the wrong direction. So one day, after eating buttig lunch meat, putting it into some bread, you take the lunch meat out, you put the lunch meat in the bread, I decided to take my lunch meat container and fold it into the newspapers. So someone would just get like a random surprise, a random bonus. And I don't know how many of these I did. I really don't remember. But I remember that it happened. Okay. This isn't the whole story. This is a simple story. I was fired eventually from newspaper delivery. Not necessarily for that, because, some of the papers are called samples. And they go to any house. You just throw it if you have more papers. So it might not go to an actual customer. Somebody might have gotten the buttock, somebody might not have. But I told Kara about it, years later, and she really likes this story that I delivered people lunch meat in my newspapers. And so the story goes to here. Kara's 50th birthday is coming up in a couple of months, and I make custom birthday cards. I don't buy a Hallmark birthday card. I would puke before I do that. So,
For example, this one here is a custom Cameron card.
oh no, I didn't make that. That was made by her students.
Was it?
Yeah, look on that sucker. I found that when I broke into the cabinet. Okay, back to the story. Kara's birthday's coming up. I started to make her a birthday card in the form of a buttig wrapper. And so instead of where it says buttig, it says birthday, and it has the buttig imagery around it. And then where it would say contains natural flavors and proteins, I say something like contains best wishes over 50 years and some things like that. So that's my loving cutlets. Kara loves my cutlets. She's gonna fucking love this card. Really.
I'm sure she is.
Yeah.
I was somewhat momentarily surprised to remember that she's 2 years younger than me. We were not in the same grade.
Yeah. She tells me that she and I are 69 days apart in age, but I've never counted, because I wouldn't want to unconfirm that.
Hmm. So we're pulling some bowls here. We're getting ready for the morning. Last night was a strange night. It was a very strange night. First of all, there was some kind of creature or creatures that were stalking around our house. I don't know if they were coyotes, if it was a raccoon, maybe a bobcat. I'm not sure. But the cats were being very annoying because they kept wanting to go outside to check out what this thing was. I'd get one of them inside, the other one would run outside. I'd get the other one inside, the other one would run outside. And I kept going around the house with a flashlight trying to see, like, what is this thing? Good morning, my darling, beautiful pants. Um, and I could hear it at one point, and I heard it right down there in the trees, right out of the backyard, but I could not for the life of me see with my flashlight because I don't have any good flashlights. I've got all shitty flashlights. Hi, Betting Tips 3000. It's been a while. Today's betting tip is bet on whoever's playing the Oakland A's to cover the spread. Here's a long shot, Betting Tips 3000. Bet on the Oakland A's to win the World Series this year. It's a real long shot. You could get an amazing price on that. You could get like 10,000 to 1 odds on that, I'm sure. Rachel and I, Betting Tips 3000, since you're a sports first person, inform you, she and I went to an A's game not that long ago, and we sat, because they're so shitty, there were only 2,064 people there, and we got the seats. They're the best seats in the whole baseball stadium. Seat number 1 and 2 in the front row of the third base field box. And it came with all kinds of free stuff. They're practically giving A's tickets away. We were so close to the A's dugout. I was sitting right next to the photographer's wall. The lady with those big cameras that they use to take like high quality photos of the baseball players. I was sitting right next to that lady. There was a thing between us because that's part of the field, where she's sitting on. But it was crazy. So I highly recommend to anybody who likes baseball that you go to an A's game. It's so intimate. You've never been to a baseball game with so few people. I've been to a million Dodgers games. But the thing is, I've never had seats anywhere close to as good as the seats I had at the A's game at the Dodger Stadium. Dodgers games are, it's like if we had the experience we had at Oakland Coliseum at Dodger Stadium, it would have cost us like $2,000. Yes, I heard about the train. Okay, let me.
And just imagine if you guys drank alcohol. Like people who drink alcohol at games, I can't even imagine what it costs.
Our seats came with each of us got 3 free alcoholic beverages.
Like 3 is enough.
We didn't drink any of them, and we didn't drink any of them because we don't drink alcohol. But we also got unlimited free non-alcoholic beverages. They came in bottles and cans. They weren't even like soda from a fountain. Yes, those seats, those third box, which are the most expensive seats you get at the stadium, okay, but they're still only $150 a piece, and they come with three free alcoholic drinks, unlimited free non-alcoholic drinks, hot dogs, candy, loaded tater tots, peanuts in the shell. This is for each person, and something else too. We got, I forget. There's something else we got too, but it was so amazing. It was so amazing to be that close, to be like the A's dugout's right there. And I just watched Fujinama pass by at the end of the game, all sad looking because the A's lost again. You know, red vines. Okay, yeah, that's that candy. I guess that was the thing I was not articulating the specifics of. It was a couple of weeks ago. Now the A's this morning opened the day 10-40, which matches the worst start since the 1939 Red Sox, I believe. It's pretty poor. It is pretty poor. So, and since the A's are leaving, the A's are leaving Oakland, of course, that means that even the people who have been longtime fans of Oakland, well, they're like, why bother being fans anymore? Because we're going to Las Vegas. So this creates a perfect storm of opportunity to be an A's fan. Rachel and I have become A's fans this year for the first time. I've never liked the A's before. And we are watching plenty of their games, or at least parts of them, so that we can say, we were there. We were fans of the worst team in history. I have hopes that they follow through. You don't want your team to just be shitty. If they're gonna be shitty, you want them to be historically shitty. Of course, it costs $30 to park.
Oh my god.
But
Nice.
besides that, everything was a good deal for a baseball game. If you like baseball and anime, I do like both of those things, then LI Last would recommend the anime 1 Ounce. It's about an unknown player who's recruited and uses psychology to get great results. Huh. I'll have to check it out. Is it on Crunchyroll or what? Hi, Mattias. Mattias Sanchez is here. And he's visiting all the way from exotic Spain. Maybe. I don't know where he's from, actually. But I like to think of him as being from Barcelona. Well, yeah, I've been to plenty of Dodger games where they lose, betting tips 3,000. But that's because I'm 50 years old and my parents took me to Dodgers games all throughout my childhood. My mom was a rabid Dodgers fan. She listened to every single game on the radio if she possibly could, and she was very knowledgeable about the Dodgers. Not necessarily about baseball in general, but she was very knowledgeable about the Dodgers. And, she loved Vin Scully so much. And anyway, we went to plenty of Dodgers games, but I never got seats that good. Getting seats that good at a Dodgers game is super expensive. I also went to a lot of USC football games. We had season tickets to the USC football. And here's the deal, betting tips 3,000. I love Vin Scully, but I believe that Chick Hearn, the Lakers broadcaster, he was the shit. He was the absolute shit. So even though Ben Scully was a great baseball broadcaster, there's no other broadcasters who could hang with, like local broadcasters, who could hang with Chick Hearn. Ben Scully, by the 4th game in a 4-game series, you've heard all of his stories about that team. Oh, well, okay. Well, now, betting tips 3,000. thank you for mentioning Kevin Harlan. Kevin Harlan, but that video of him going, do you, do you believe that I believe that we saw, I cannot believe what we just saw? Did we just see what I think we just saw? That was rolling everybody back. That video is so awesome. Oh yeah, he's great. There's no doubt about that. I'm talking about LA local broadcasters back in the day. You had your hockey broadcaster whose name I forgot. Oh, I'll get a link to it and put it here. Everybody should see that video. It's fucking fantastic.
Al Areno has quite a story about Chick Hearn. I don't know if you know the Al Areno Chick Hearn
No, tell me.
death story. Al Areno tells a story of how Chick Hearn's death was covered up and occurred in a hospital because of the mafia, because of air conditioning mafia. I don't know what company, I don't know what contractors, but supposedly all of the air conditioning contractors knew each other. And there was somebody who was like in a big company and had the contract for the hospital where Chick Hearn was, with whatever he was in there for, a heart attack or something. And the air conditioning compressor went out there. It was in Northridge, I believe, and they had spare air conditioning compressors there because it's a hospital, and this is like, you know, why not have the $150,000 spare compressor? It turns out that this guy who sold the hospital the compressor had just taken an old compressor, painted it, and then just put it there. Just gave them a compressor that was worth $0 and took the 150 grand. He was some sort of mafioso. And all of the AC guys supposedly knew this, which is so weird that so many people could know like about a huge fraud. Supposedly, maybe after the first AC guy there showed up, hooked up the AC compressor and it exploded or something, you know, like exploded with sparks or something. You know, they had another one or something, and supposedly no AC contractor would go back to the hospital and work on this job because they knew that so much fraud had happened on it, and Chick Hearn died because it was too hot in the hospital. That's plus or minus of Al's story.
Okay. Well, I mean, the thing is, Chick Hearn died because of a head injury from a fall. It took him, he fell at home, got a head injury, and it took him a few days to die, but he died from complications of that. It may have been too hot in the hospital, and maybe there was some fraud on the air conditioning project, and it may have coincided in time. But I think attributing any causal link to the air conditioning failure and Chick Hearn's death is silly.
Well, that's Al's version.
Okay, I'm going to put this sound on this so Cameron can see it too. I'm going to cover up the sound over here. Did we just see what we think we just saw? Wow!
Kitty, did you see Kitty on TV responding? You had arm movements. Kitty's like, what the fuck? That was cute, little Kitty.
What's this ad?
Oh, the Chick Hearn story, probably.
Oh, well, he was super old. But it was still, it made me stop watching the Lakers for a while. It was just like, how can I even watch them anymore? They don't sound like the Lakers.
There aren't that many positions in the world where you are the voice of something. You know, there really aren't that many people like that out there.
I mean, the crazy thing about Chick Hearn is how many commonly used basketball terms he made up. Slam dunk, alley oop, dribble drive. he made up word things that are just generally thought of as commonly used terms now, but he made them up. He was so smart and clever and such an ENTP. When the Lakers got Shaquille O'Neal, everybody prior to that had always called him either Shaquille O'Neal or Shaq. So what does Chick Hearn do, being a proper ENTP? He starts calling him immediately Shaq O'Neal because he's not going to be like everybody else. You know, he's going to do different. And he was so fast calling the game too. It's like he was just he had a debater's flow calling the game. You know. So Worthy, back to Kareem, and the sky hook. He invented sky hook. You know, he was so good. And his death was the celebrity death of all time that had the most impact on me. I don't get sad about celebrity deaths, but when Chick Hearn died, a part of me died. Cameron,
Uh-huh.
can you talk about your experiences with sports, either playing, watching as a kid?
I don't know if your fans want to get all sad. Maybe a different question.
Sports?
Oh no, you know what? I could tell them about bicycle riding. All right, that was my sport. Okay, so because my family never like watched sports, went to sports, talked about sports, read about sports, I wasn't even really aware that there were sports so much. And then when I did go and see like AYSO and stuff, it just didn't seem like what I wanted to do. But I always loved that bike. So my sport was bike riding, learning to wheelie, learning to jump the bike, learning to, do all kinds of bike tricks. Um, as soon as I could earn money, I would spend my money on bicycle parts. So my sports story is earning money to buy metal pieces. But then it makes your bike more light, makes your bike more bitchin' and better to jump and do tricks on, stuff like that. So I've always been into bikes, motorcycles, stuff like that. I did race my bike, BMX racing a little bit, not a whole lot. Hung out with some people who raced their bikes, so I would go to BMX bike races. Um, Other sports. I guess I did parkour years back till my body got wrecked. Um, that's pretty fun. Did a lot of climbing years back, like swinging on those rings at Santa Monica, the metal rings that hang on chains, doing stuff like that. I'm gonna look at those comments. What's up, Miss Fortune? Okay, back to sports. I never really went to sports games or thought about that stuff. So my first football game, I think I was about maybe 18, 19, and it was a high school football game I went to at Temple City High. The reason I went is that my friends and I got acid and took acid to go to the game. I guess I've been dragged to a few baseball games over the years, like a Dodger game now and then. Um, it's okay. There's nothing exceptionally wrong with it, except I don't really like big old crowds. So to be in a big old crowd with like particles of beer flying because someone claps their hands is kind of annoying. Um, Most everyone I've known, like every girlfriend I've had, has really been into sports. Love, baseball games, football games, stuff like that. Um, So I guess I came to realize that my family was pretty abnormal in the utter rejection of sports.
Because they were all born with a hunchback.
They were from like Nebraska. Well, my mom was from Australia. My dad was from Nebraska. They just weren't American sports.
Let me tell y'all, yesterday was a day of bad juju. It was like, I don't believe anything about Friday the 13th, but if I believed Friday the 13th, high misfortune, then yesterday was like a Friday the 13th or something, right? It was a day in which things were spooky and abnormal. We kept pulling bad tarot cards. We got yelled at by that lady. We couldn't find our way through. We had to turn around and go back the way we came.
How is that lady so scary? Like she scared the shit out of me too. Was it just her pure anger? Or that we were deep into her land and realized like this is her
Yeah, well, I mean, for me, it was as simple as I would not purposely trespass, obviously, because I respect people's property rights, and here I am trespassing, but I didn't know. I get why she's mad, and of course, I couldn't even be like, "Well, you should have put a sign," because there were signs. But and the thing is, we had a conversation about those signs, about whether they meant we could go forward or not. Cameron said no, he was right. I said I think they refer to the land on the side of the roads, and I was wrong.
The reason I was willing to not be right is that outside of their property, they had some busted up stuff with busted up no trespassing signs, and so it didn't even look serious. It just looked like not serious.
Well, the problem is, they need to have a sign that says something like, "This is not the Sweetwater Road."
Yeah, that's.
But of course, it's not a big deal because it's a problem. It's a mistake I'm only going to make one time, and it's a mistake I almost unavoidably am going to make one time as I'm trying to figure out my way around these little roads. So I didn't find her scary. I just found myself guilty. Like, oh fuck, I'm trespassing on this woman's land. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I made a mistake. You know. But anyway, yesterday was a day of bad juju. That happened. We got the very many bad tarot cards, and then last night was a strange night. There was something going around the house, like stalking around the house, maybe trying to get the cats. I'm not sure, but and then also I heard like off in the distance at one point what sounded for a long, and it would go on for a long stretch of time, like it sounded like somebody going like "ooh," and then a little while later it would happen again. It wasn't an owl. It was too like extended and big sounding. It sounded like a person, but I don't know. And then like last night, I kept hearing, and this happened like throughout the entire night, a single wind chime sound of ding, ding. Occasionally I hear it, except there's not any wind chimes that I know of around here that just have one note like that. They all have like bing, 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 bing. So I don't know. Like, did somebody get a new wind chime that just has one note? But why didn't I hear the other wind chimes? It was a spooky night. Spooky night. Faces come out in the rain when you're strange. When you're strange. When you're a stranger. When you're alone. Women seem wicked when you're unwanted. That is such a great line. Oh my God. That is such a great line and so true. I hate to heap such enormous praise on either Jim Morrison or the Doors, but fuck, is that a great line of lyrics or what? Women seem wicked when you're unwanted?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's some good lyrics right there.
So Eric, I've gotten to know a lot about my woodland creatures at my house
Oh yeah?
through my blink cameras. Which
Oh, I have a ring camera here that I want to set up, but I haven't set it up.
they're pretty. I want to show you a recent video if I can find it at my house.
Sure, can you follow me outside? I'm going to smoke a cigarette.
It's a really bitchin' video on my blink because I planted some tomato plants again for the second year in my tomato box in my yard, which has deer netting around it, so deer cannot eat my tomatoes. And I've never had any deer in my yard.
He has Italian deer, so they really like tomatoes.
Totally. So, look, see on my camera, gotta find the recent video from Tomato Cam.
Is it an overhead tomato cam?
It's an in the box Tomato Cam, but I just have to find it. Once you get a million videos, you just like can't find your freaking
Take your
videos
time.
anymore.
Take your time. You look for your video, and I will discuss the importance of cutlets with the viewing public and the woodland friends. Chirp, 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 chirp. That's a blue jay sound. That chirp, 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 chirp. That thing that we just heard a while ago was a blue jay. Horse welfare concerns? I don't have any horses. I also had a strange dream last night. Actually, it was this morning. This was the last dream I had before I woke up this morning. Maybe that's part of why I remember it. But also, it was so strange. I dreamed that Delilah was like 1 year old, and she kept doing this with her fingers on my face, which is the sort of thing she would do, little girl. But they were stinky, like stinky little kid fingers.
See the buck? There's a buck by my tomatoes, but he can't get to my plant because I've got deer netting.
Let's see if I can get it show best. Look at this.
So yeah, so instead of being a paranoid security freak, I recommend getting blink cameras just to see what nature friends are out there. It doesn't cost that much to get a blink camera.
What are blink cameras?
They are little Bluetooth. Here, let me set it again. Bluetooth cameras, security system cameras. Okay, it's playing right now. I don't know if they can see it, but there's a buck. He looks around. He looks around. He walks away, and then the video's over. Anyway, that's how I've had fun with my cameras now.
That's cool, man. You know what I think? I think that woodland friend's head would look great mounted on your wall.
That BB gun, if I shoot him about 40,000 times at once, I think I'll be able to get it.
Yeah. I like the pump action. You don't have to worry about those cartridges.
It's a real, what is it, pragmatic BB gun?
Yeah. I also like those flashlights that you can shake up to make them.
Oh yeah, the shake light. You don't need batteries.
You don't
so
need
there's
batteries.
no failure possible. I love that stuff. Your squirrels are cute. They look nothing like my squirrels.
Yeah, I like to call them Yosemite Valley Platinum Squirrels.
They seem ultra high fashion.
Well, they're good. They're good at communicating with each other. I don't know if that's true of all squirrels. I never paid so much attention to squirrels before.
I find that they'll make a clicking sound that's like defense noise. At least the ones by my house. But I'm not going to make that sound so they don't associate me with telling them there's a problem.
So that sound, that bird sound you're hearing, that's blue jay. They don't have the most attractive song. It's more like "Gawk, gawk, 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 gawk. Gawk, gawk, gawk." They're like Kathy. They just say ack. Oh, look at the squirrel standing up with legs. He was standing up for a second. He missed it. Sometimes these squirrels look just like that meme of that serious prairie dog.
Oh, the standing up.
Where he turns his head and looks all serious.
Oh,
Yeah.
See, I'd have like squirrel cam. I've got 4 cameras myself, and I've turned one into the river cam, where I'll get a squirrel or a lizard on my end the river.
Okay, so wait, how do you, as far as these Blink cameras, do you have to pay for a service like with Ring?
You don't have to. This is my Blink app. It's all. I bought the cameras for about $200 for my first set, which has the sending unit and a couple of cameras, and then I just picked up a couple more for $50 each on eBay. Even though you could pay more, like at the store. But like, this is my river camera that looks at my backyard river thing.
And it's motion detection or what?
Yeah, motion detection. It's got all the different levels of sensitivity. Basically, I can just look at the full river, but sometimes little guys will walk here.
And so where is this video being hosted?
It's in a USB stick in my house. You can pay for them to host it on their cloud thing. So if someone burglarized my house and stole my USB stick, my camera stuff's gone. My footage is gone.
So what do you mean it's saved on a USB stick? Like it's saved directly to your computer on a USB stick with flash plugged in, or what?
There's a little box that is
there's
I
a
guess
hardware.
it's a receiving
There's
unit.
a hardware
Yeah,
component.
that plugs
Okay.
into the box. It's got Bluetooth or whatever these things communicate through, and it's got 4 little battery-powered cameras where you don't have to put wires up. They're this big. They take up no space. The batteries last for months, fortunately, and you can in the app. Let's say my steps camera is getting too many alerts because it sends your phone alerts, which is super annoying. You don't have to look at the alerts, but
I won't get it. My phone doesn't work.
okay. So there are motion settings. You can set it to be more sensitive, less sensitive. You can make motion zones where, let's say, something is always like over here. I've got cars
I
that
see. Yeah, I
drive
get
by,
it. I get it.
so I block those out.
That seems like it's better than Ring. The fact that it has a
This is pretty
hardware
good.
component, you can keep your videos on thumb drives instead of having to pay for a service.
Yeah, I'm cheap like that. I totally
That's
do.
excellent.
Yeah, I mean, and what I thought of, since buying a couple kits already, I already have a couple of the receivers. I could leave a receiver in the kitchen where it is with the USB stick in it, and if a burglar wanted to steal that, I could have another receiver hidden, under something that's the real one. But it doesn't even matter. Another thing you can do is, let's say your neighbor across the street has their bathroom window in your shot. You can black out zones so that you never see what's there. Or like, let's say you want one in your house, but you don't want to see into the bathroom. You can block that out. Not that you need it in your house unless you're like a dealer.
I have to keep an eye on Rachel.
Exactly.
I
leave the
gotta
house.
make sure I know what she's doing at all times.
Yeah.
So I put cameras everywhere. And then I'll put little intercom. So if she's like picks up a piece of something I don't think she should pick up, I'll be like, hey, what are you doing?
These are intercoms.
They have intercoms on them?
Yeah. When Kara was watering my tomatoes, I went to the camera and then I went to this. I went to the little microphone button. I talked to her through the camera, even though it works super shitty.
Okay, well I'm gonna have to get these Blink cameras.
Yeah. This is my current tomatoes, which has grown over the camera. But if I hit that, I could talk to the tomatoes.
Do they talk back?
They've been talking to me a lot at night. I can't sleep.
So yeah, I had this really strange dream about Delilah this morning. Y'all need to stop streaming and getting way behind on work. Well, maybe that's because you've misidentified your job, New Groove. Your actual work is watching Talking with Famous People. So, if you ask me, you're being extremely productive right now. And the answer to that is not much. Loose dogs. Press report, Mariposa. There was a report of loose dogs last night. Maybe it was dogs.
Oh.
What is the currency of exchange here? They're called wonder points. And the more time you spend here, the more wonder points you accumulate. Once you've accumulated 1,000 wonder points, you can convert that into a magnifipoint. Esquamulos. Not covered in scales or scale-like objects, having a smooth skin or outer covering. Esquamulos. Esquamulos. Well, that's very interesting. Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Huh. When would one use the word esquamulos? When does one have to exclude such things in conversation?
Well, like somebody would be like, well, was it scaly? You say, no, it was esquamulos.
This is my homie. He's esquamulos. Oh, good.
Just check in. Like, let's say you're worried about lizard people integrating your friend group. You might say, just check in. Everybody here is esquamulos, right? I don't want any lizard people at my party. Yeah, it is true that Chick Hearn lived a long life, 86. Lived longer than my dad. Or my mom. But I was still very sad when he died. He was an ENTP. He didn't think he was old. Even if only 1/16 lizard people, unless they're entirely esquamulos, I don't want them at my party. I'm sorry, I'm a speciesist. As part of my my alt-right craziness, I've become a bug racist as well. Some bugs are fine, other bugs must die. Which bugs must die most of all? Mosquitoes. Second, bugs that must die are wasps. But increasingly, I'm just thinking, might as well just start killing the daddy long legs too, because they're just annoying. I was just making a joke, Groove. I don't identify with any of those labels. I'm not alt-right, or left, or centrist. I'm correctist. I choose to be correct about every specific policy matter and not be ideological. Your mom's all right, though. Oh my God. New Groove's mom is so all right that that she listens to that Dilbert guy every morning. I'm just kidding, Winston's mom. I know you love that Dilbert guy. Who's an example of somebody that people would currently call alt-right? I don't know. I'm not caught up in those kind of labeling projects. I'm gonna try another one of these kind of weeds that came brought up here. This time I'm gonna try humo. Let's give it a shot. Let's see what humo is like. Shapiro, Tucker, Glenn Beck. Why would you put Ben Shapiro in the same category as Tucker Carlson and Glenn Beck? Glenn Beck is just like Shapiro is doing something much worse than Tucker Carlson and Glenn Beck are doing. Because Tucker Carlson and Glenn Beck, they are dumb people. And they don't, they're just being dumb. Ben Shapiro is smart and it's purposefully profiting off of people's wrong political tendencies. Shapiro knows better, but he plays to his base. Shame on him for that.
What sort of compensation does he get?
Well, I mean, he's big on YouTube. I don't know what he gets from ad revenue, but I would bet he probably gets thousands of dollars a month at least, I would guess. Okay. And additionally, he's famous enough that he could probably get paid to speak places and stuff, you know?
Yeah, you get several $1,000, if not $10,000 stipend to go like talk for an hour or whatever, be at some meeting or something.
C.S. Joseph and Ben Shapiro look alike, kind of, have a vaguely similar affect, but they are very different kinds of thinkers. I mean, it's possible, it's conceivable that they might even be the same type, I guess, but Ben Shapiro is way smarter than C.S. Joseph. Ben Shapiro is way smarter. And, you know, if he didn't milk the group as shit for profit, I would respect the man. But he milks it purposefully instead of doing the right thing. But other people in the new group mentioned, they don't know any better. They're not smart. Like Obama. Obama knew better. But he decided he made the mistake of thinking that his work would be done in the capacity of the president executing the duties of his office. He never understood the work is to be done on the hearts and the minds of the people with correct discourse, that you cannot avoid offending people at all times to get elected and end up being a good president. So, there's some finger wags for them. These cruisers have been really good. looked at a couple other ones. They might be repeats of this other one, I'm not sure. I'm gonna put my glasses on and see.
There are probably 2 repeats in there.
This one's called Strawberry Kush. It's not a repeat. And this one, I need my better glasses. The glasses I just had on, I got at O'Reilly Auto Parts. It might have been a different auto parts store, but it was when Rachel and I bought the chain. Well, this is different too. They're all different. This is Tropicana something or other. This is written so small.
Yeah, they're truly evil. It's only done by the young.
Tropicana banana. I can see it with both my glasses on quite clearly now. Strawberry Kush. Oh, this is Tropicana banana. Okay, so this is a repeat. It's Tropicana banana. And this one I want to try is the Strawberry Kush. These ones I had last night. Rebel cookies. This was good. And cereal milk. This was good too. But like, I don't think even young people could read this without glasses. I want Rachel, when she comes downstairs, I want her to see if she can read this with just her regular eyes and no magnification. Because, I mean, I get it. The thing is, instead of being charismatic, you've got to bring people together in a way that's less paternalistic, you know? You've got to bring people together by appealing to their strength as citizen adults. What has 6 eyes, is tall and lanky, loves conversation. 3 Erics. It's a pretty good look, there is a genuine disagreement about broad cultural matters. It divides along the lines of like woke versus oh right. Well, my answer is more correct because having 2 pairs of glasses does not triple my number of eyes. I mean, like you look at something like what happened with COVID. What you see there is that the country is thinking and making decisions based on their ridiculous perceptions about groups, which aren't necessarily wrong, but are always a wrong thing to make decisions about, right? Like, what can broadly be deemed the left has determined that the right is anti-science because what has broadly been deemed the right has gone through, maybe some it still does, this opposition to the idea of climate change. And they're seen as being more religious and therefore maybe opposing evolution, and they're seen as anti-science. There was this whole do vaccines cause autism nonsense? you know, so there's this belief in the urbanized part of the country that the rural parts of the country or the middle of the country is anti-science, and that therefore they can't be trusted with policy making decisions because the only good thing to trust is science, right? But you see what that kind of stupidity, groupist kind of analysis results in. It results in a COVID policy that the left thinks is pro-science, but had nothing to do with actual science, right? So yes, people on the right were saying COVID is not real. People on the left were saying let's have lockdowns. And both people were completely fucking wrong. And because why? Because instead of thinking about things as they actually are, they were thinking about things through the frame of the opposition group. They were thinking about things as we have to stop those anti-science people, or we have to stop those conspiring globalists, because idiots think about things through those idiotic frames. And unfortunately, it seems right now, if I'm going to qualify everybody who thinks of this thing through those frames as idiots, it's like half the country. But they don't need to be this. Good morning, Rachel. They don't need to be that. Okay? So if we dealt with the COVID issue properly, we would have acknowledged that yes, it was a real virus. Yes, it was going to be unique both in vastness of contagion and in its symptomology, because it was artificially constructed. It was altered. It was the work product of a lab.
So nice to trouble.
This is what I believe to be the case.
You're so nice to the kid.
That it was either an accidental release or purposeful release, right? But the thing about it is, we had all the information at hand to know that it was a terrible idea to force the whole world to lock down for years, or at all, in fact, because we were not going to be able to stop it. We knew that already. It was uniquely contagious, it had a long incubation period, and it's just like the countermeasures to stop people from getting this thing that had a 0.4% fatality rate. The harms vastly outweighed the harms of not trying to stop it, because of course trying to stop it didn't work, as I explained it wouldn't right way back at the beginning. This idea that we would wait for a vaccine to come around and then we'd be okay because we'd all be vaccinated, we wouldn't get it, turned out to be completely a terribly bad idea, horribly wrong, because the vaccine didn't work. People who got the vaccine still got the disease. So the thing is, we had all we needed to know to become the correct country in dealing with this shit. But nobody but me seems to be correct about it. And to this day, I cannot explain why. To this day, I cannot explain why. Because all the data was right there in front of us that we needed to know to construct the correct policy about it. Okay, well, maybe some people around here agreed with me, but I'm saying it's like, I didn't hear any good voices publicly speaking about the matter other than my own. Everybody was either on one groupist side or the other groupist side, and both of them were wrong. Because the takeaway here is, it doesn't matter what you do, it matters how you do it. If you execute discourse about public policy correctly, then you will end up with the correct course of action. If you choose your course of action and then try to execute public policy discourse about it, you're doing it wrong. It's that simple. So what I'm saying here is powerfully true and clear. I am an example of somebody who is not engaged in this divisive groupist framing that has taken over politics. I am the legitimate alternative to it. I'm not just somebody who negates that phenomenon. I'm a legitimate, full-fledged alternative to it. The point is, I'm not talking about blaming. I'm talking about what is the correct policy in response to this threat. How do we decide what the correct policy is in response to this threat? How do we, if we are going to do an impact calculus, which we shouldn't have even gotten to at this point, because the fact is we knew enough to know that our efforts were going to fail, that they were very likely to fail. And in fact, just about everybody got COVID at some point.
Did you have COVID before?
Yeah, I had it. It was weird. The weirdest disease I ever had.
As far as I know, I never got it.
Oh, you never got it.
I mean, I
Did you get vaccinated?
a few times, not the last couple times. I don't know.
Good for you.
But my family's still all fucked up about COVID. They all are like into COVID.
Really?
Oh yeah. My mom will still wear a mask walking into a restaurant, thinking she's respecting the staff because they have to wear masks. But at my doctor's office last week or 2 weeks ago, the nurse said, you know, you don't have to wear a mask. So now they're actually telling patients at Kaiser Pasadena that you don't have to. So I did not wear a mask after that point.
Wow. I think it's Kaiser saying it's fine.
The staff still has to, but the patients are not required to. So that's really like, I'm just surprised a nurse told it to me because my family's still all like ordering masks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eric Sensei is doing well. Doing fine, doing grand, doing dandy, doing sand. You want the last one of these?
Sure. Thank you.
Sorry, I did the rest of them.
It's okay.
I don't have to imagine this phenomenon here. My father, this affected him much more than it did me, was denied the ability to visit his wife in the nursing home as she was slowly dying of dementia. He was not allowed to see her. For a long time. I don't remember how long exactly, but at least a month or two. And prior to that, he had gone like every day because he very much loved his wife. It didn't bother me so much because, yeah, thanks, that'd be great.
Fork?
No, I'm good, thank you. It's like, yeah, sure, I have some more coffee. That'd be great, thanks. It's like if our policy ends up denying an old man his, months of the last days with his dying wife, it's we have got something going on that's fucked up, right? We're thinking all wrong.
Gosh, she's so cute.
And the thing is, of course, eventually, COVID more or less killed my dad, or precipitated him killing himself, because when he got it really bad and he had a super high fever and then he fell over and broke his hip or whatever, and I don't know, he didn't break his head. He broke his ribs. His feet broke his ribs. And it fucked with his eyesight, and you know, it COVID fucked him up badly shortly before he took his life. But the thing is, what can we conclude about that? Well, what I conclude about that is, first of all, if we hadn't had lockdowns, everybody hadn't been all panicky about it, the inevitable would have happened sooner. And he would have been a couple of years younger, and it probably wouldn't have knocked him on his ass so bad, you know? So it's like doing something when we know it's not going to work. We have good reason to believe it's not going to work, and we can articulate lots of possible harms, is insane. It's insane. And I can tell you what it is. It's TE liability thinking. Well, if we don't do everything and people die, they're going to blame us. Fuck you, public officials. Your job is not to avoid being blamed for things. It's to make the right decision. You know? You're doing the public's business. You gotta be better than that. Well, the Domo is delicious, new group. Everything Cameron made last night was delicious.
And that wasn't even a rice dolma, that was filled with like couscous or something.
Ancient grains. I like to benefit from the ancient grains of Mesopotamia. The Fertile Crescent is within me. That's why I eat couscous and alfalfa.
So Hero Lamb and Neuro Group, I make my own hummus. You know, one of these trips out here, I may have to show you how I make that hummus.
He calls it Cameron's Fertile Crescent.
Yep.
It's actually new group, but close enough. Exactly. I infuse with the grains that Osiris himself once supped upon in the fertile Nile Valley. I eat in the ways of the pharaohs. Instead of tortillas, I use papyrus.
PB loves that box. That box has good smells on it to her.
That's
She's
so
just
funny.
hanging out right there.
I don't know if you were listening at this point yet or not, I forget, but I was talking about how yesterday had some bad juju. Were you listening?
Yes, I did hear about that. I mean,
You remember I articulated like how these things like not really yelling at us, us
Yeah,
not being able
yeah.
to get through, blah 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 blah.
it wasn't totally smooth. Like, it wasn't the worst, but there were little juju signs that were like,
It was a day when the witch energy of the world was a flight on the whirling winds of purple and black. Let's see about today though. Today's a little bit more cheery.
oh yeah, it is.
What's that say?
Impetuous, enthusiastic.
I mean, what's the card name?
Oh, it's the Page of Rods.
Page of Rods. Let's see what else we got. Right, so that's it. That's the first overarching card for the day. Now I'm gonna pull a card for each of us.
Okay.
This is for Cameron.
Ooh.
Cameron got
The Nine of Pentacles.
The Nine of
Independent,
Pentacles.
comfortable.
independent, comfortable, flourishing.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
That's good, Cameron. Good for you. Now let's see what Rachel gets. Ooh, this one comes up.
Mm.
You dynamo.
Oh,
You are such a dynamo.
Golly.
What is this one
The
card?
Knight of Rods.
Now a card for Eric.
Look at that. The Six of Rods. Victory.
Six of rods. It's a lot of rods. What's been cooking in the typology community the last 8 months or so? Well, the Panther. The main thing that's happened in the last 8 months or so is Rachel and I moved here to Mariposa and left Los Angeles, and we've been moving in and, you know, doing meow and meow and meow. It's been not a lot of typology stuff for the last 8 months, because the last 8 months or so have been dominated by the well, at this point, I guess my dad died about 8 months ago, right? So, you know, it's like the last 8 months have been either just before my dad was about to kill himself, which was a crazy time by itself, because my dad had COVID super bad, couldn't deal with shit. I had to deal with shit, and my mom was taken to the hospital, all that kind of stuff. And then when my dad died, then that was crazy. Then we started selling that house, and my mom died, and that was straightforward. And then we moved here, and that was crazy, because we had some initial problems. I got super sick. The heater broke like the day we moved in.
Yeah,
Stuff like
that was tough. And then we got hit by the snowstorm.
Then it turned out we moved in just in time for history's heaviest winter in Mariposa ever. We got slammed by piles of snow. And we got stranded. We were, snowbound for weeks, basically. And Cameron came up and saved us on a couple of occasions as we were floundering here. Then, gradually, things have become normal now, kind of. And I'm getting back into doing stuff a little bit. I started doing typing sessions again. Those are nice to do. Makes me feel like I'm being productive. It's good to have like a little bit of work periodically to schedule your fun around.
Yeah.
And you've got the fun wilderness car, so your life can involve like getting out to places that even probably many of your neighbors could never see, I would imagine.
Yeah, a lot of people around here have quads, but not everybody.
Yeah, no, not everybody.
All right, the Panther. Here's a card for you.
Strength.
You got Lion Petter. You're a Lion Petter today, the Panther.
Ooh, Lion Petter.
Now, I gave you 3 more. Here's for your morning. In the morning, you're going to be stressed out.
Oh, worry, stressed, fear.
This is your morning.
Oh no.
That's okay. It's just your morning.
Turn that frown upside down.
Morning's almost over. Now, this is your afternoon. Arrival, success, meow meow. This is the meow of meows.
3.
3 of rods.
Yeah.
Okay. Your evening.
Ace of Swords.
You're gonna have a new thought.
Have a breakthrough.
She is fine.
Yeah, I'm fine. When I take bong rips, it's very likely that I'll cough.
She just has pneumonia.
Yeah, no big deal.
How many do I have? How many what?
Yeah, that's a good question. How many?
Testicles? 2.
Good counting.
Thanks. I practiced back in preschool. Okay, new groove. It's time to tell you what the Sarah has to say to you. Here's your overarching card for the day.
The 5 of Cups.
Oh, death, I am so sad. That's what this card looks like.
Yeah,
That's
it
what I
really
can't remember
does.
Beethoven song.
Oh.
But it's actually just the 5 of Cups. This means regret. This is your
Yeah.
overarching card for the day. You're regretting something right now, new group. What is it? You're regretting that pneumonia has a P? Well, don't worry. Your morning will be one filled with temperance. Yep. You're not gonna shoot up heroin this morning. In the afternoon, you will have
Harmony.
harmony.
4 rods.
The 4 rods. And in the evening, you get to be this one. Oh no! Womp, 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 womp. You got the 3 of Swords.
Grief. Heartache.
Breakup. So maybe it could be a betrayal like this. You go to the CVS expecting them to have your brand of whatever, but all they have is leftover Easter candy. Could be that. Pneumonia. that's pneumonia's cognitive function stuff.
Nehemiah.
Pneumonia.
That's funny.
It's good.
How about you? Did you draw cards for yourself?
Well, I drew a card for each of
Oh,
us.
oh, right.
But not a whole set of cards. Okay. Now, Jeremiah fix. I know. They stopped selling tobacco products, even though alcohol is much more health problems associated with it. Jeremiah fix. You get the Fool.
Ooh, the Fool. Brand new beginnings. A day is yours to seize.
Yep, it's a happy card. It's a good card. You don't gotta worry about shit. You know. Your morning is one full of action and speed. You must have come upon some Adderall, Jeremiah fix. Your afternoon, wheel of fortune. What destiny awaits you in the afternoon? Good luck does, that's what. And in the evening, after all that afternoon good luck, you get to be the King of Cups. You're going to have set out in front of you all the different emotions. Cherishment, lust, love, softness, fear. And you get be able to touch each emotion and be master of it.
That's so deep.
Yeah. Okay, who else needs a read? Hero Lamb. Card for you, overarching card. Ooh, good luck for you today.
Oh, that's the second time, right?
Yeah, it's a good luck to take that chance. When someone says, "Would you like to buy this lottery ticket?" Yeah, maybe I would.
Yeah.
Your morning will be one of Mia's.
Ace of Swords.
New idea. What's your new idea? What's your new thought? It's, I'm going to kick some ass and take some names. Afternoon,
The Fool. Again.
after kicking ass and taking names, you just take the afternoon off. And for the evening, what delights does the evening promise you? It doesn't want to give me a single card. I wait for it to pop just one clear card out like this. Ah,
The
the world. Wow, look at you, big spender.
3 major arcana.
You got 3 major arcanas out of 4. It's like a Shohei Ohtani pull.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, L-I-I laugh.
It's so cute.
She's just getting her ear time.
Aww.
Oh, yeah, she loves it.
L-I-I laugh.
I just put my thumb up and she's just all there.
That's great.
You are the hermit.
Oh, look at you.
Hermitage for you.
Thumbs up to the kitty.
All right.
Oh, such a good.
She's like, I'll stick my butthole butt.
She does what she wants.
Straight up kitty cat right there. That's proof she's a kitty.
Yeah.
Your morning is this. Space muffins.
King of Pentacles.
King of Pentacles. That's your morning. L-I-I last. Your afternoon. Here, oh, Fant.
Wow.
And,
Oh, that's the Emperor.
oh, that's the Emperor. Sorry. Emperor.
The Authority. Patriarch.
King of Kings. And in the evening,
The Ace of Wands.
that's new project. Okay. Does anybody else want to get a tarot reading? If you do, say now or forever hold your pee. It's not good for you to hold your pee, so I wouldn't recommend doing that.
Don't be tarot constipated now.
No.
Tarot retention syndrome.
Guy.
Everybody needs to have their tarots douched. Their tarot holes douched. I will douche your tarot hole.
Now that's a title.
Yeah.
Stop this video and make a new title.
I wouldn't have to. I could just edit this title, but if Love and Cutlets is wrong, I don't want to change this title. That classic image of the hermit illuminating things with the lantern with knowledge gained through contemplation, I guess, is symbolism. Hermit took on a negative connotation later on in modern life, I think. So I would like to do an anime themed tarot deck where, like, for example, maybe the hermit could either be like the otaku or like or it could be like, you know, like the sage on top of a mountain who teaches martial arts or something, you know, an archetype from anime. You'd have tsundere is like the fool, and what's another playful major arcana besides the fool?
Besides the Fool, the Sun.
Okay, so like the sun would be like moe culture or something.
Oh, you're getting it. What's moe culture?
That's where they have those like maid cafes and cat cafes and stuff.
Ah.
And then like the world would just be kawaii.
Yeah,
or that
totally.
could be justice. It would be kawaii.
Kawaii. Yeah.
Well, no, it wouldn't be justice. I'd have to think about which one kawaii would be. It would be something that's very positive in the tarot, but it'd have to be. I'm not sure. I have to think about that. Maybe like um, the star would be kawaii.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's
think the
good.
star. Yeah. Uh, justice would have to be like jutsu.
Totally jutsu. Oh my gosh, this is a great deck already.
Yeah.
What are the lovers?
Moes are anime girls with those kawaii eyes. Is that what it originally starts from? Is the those particular kind of girls are called moes? Anyway, I'd have to. I mean, that's why I like anime. Is you know you can do good anime and tell good stories and stuff, and have good cartoons to watch because they don't do that much animation. They have a bunch of still images that then they pan and stuff over, and they just have maybe their mouths move. One person's mouth move in the picture or something like that. So today we've got a couple of good animes coming out, but they haven't actually. They hadn't come out yet when I last checked. Explosion, uh, Explosion on This Wonderful World is coming out today.
Oh.
I have not seen Moriarty the Patriot. Extroverted Sensing no Jutsu. Sorry, I haven't seen that one. Or if I have, I don't remember it. What else is coming out today? I gotta see. Something else I like is coming out today. But I was very disappointed when this past week's Mash and Muscles was a recap episode, a point 0.5. Whenever you see, oh yeah, I like the Sacrificial Princess and the King of Beasts. Also, Galaxy Next Door. Is that coming out today or a Sacrificial King Princess and King of Beasts is out now? Finally, I I've caught up on all of the following shows. They're current this season. X and Y, which is an escape room one, which is pretty good. It's Chinese, it's not Japanese. Kuma 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 Bear Punch, Dead Mount Death Plate, which is maybe my favorite one. I got a cheat skill in Another World and became unrivaled in this world too. Another great one. Why Ray ended up at the Duke's Mansion. I'm not caught up on Saga season 2 yet, but I'm catching up. But it's a little dark, so it takes me a little slower to get through it. I am caught up on Summon to Another World for a second time. I'm caught up on The Galaxy Next Door. So that means a new episode is coming out today, I guess. Hopefully. I'm caught up on The Aristocrats' Otherworldly Adventure, serving who don't deserve it. I'm caught up on Eden Zero, which is pretty damn good considering it's not as it's more of a crank 'em out kind of cartoon like Naruto or One Piece than most of them that I watch. Hell's Paradise is fantastic. I'm caught up on that, of course. Ancient Magus' Bride, also fantastic. I'm caught up on that. I'm caught up on Mash and Muscles. I was again disappointed this week with a 6.5. I'm caught up on Doctor Stone and the new Konosuba, An Explosion on This Wonderful World is just come out. So I gotta catch up on that when I'm done streaming. I'm caught up on Kamikatsu, Working for God in a Godless World. I'm not caught up on Magical Destroyers. It's not very good. This is over. My Life as a Villain is Always Leads to Doom. That was great, but it's over. I don't watch necessarily the OVAs, you know. Skipping Over, I'm not caught up on. Or Do Those Bad Girls, I'm not caught up on. So I actually have a couple, but I haven't gone down here. I kind of stopped watching My Home here because it's so dark. Ranking of Kings is, yeah, whatever, you know. I guess I'm caught up on season 2, uh, but I'm not watching the OVA on that. I started free Iwatabi Swim Club, but I only got a few minutes into it. I don't know what made me stop watching it. Anyway, that sums up the entirety of this season on Crunchyroll, the current season, you know. And as you can tell, I watch a lot of anime.
It's your thing.
It's
one of your.
It's one of my things.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of anime.
Someone does.
There's someone out there saying, I only watch anime.
Well,
I don't own it. Is Megaman an ENFP or an INFP? I don't think Megaman's FI. Do you think she's FI?
Who's...
The Explosion Girl.
No, she reminds me of Delilah.
Yeah, I think she's ESTP. She's like not very nice to Union, you know.
Who's you? The other girl?
Yeah, that.
Yeah, she's not. The one who's like, I'm going to take you down. But
I'm your rival. And she's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. I love that she has a cat too. So cute.
But then like she's just like, well, I'll just leave the cat here. You know. Like you can't just leave it here. I don't know who Kazuma, Darkness, and Aqua are. You know what? I still have some very strong wishes. I strongly wish for another season of World Trigger. I strongly wish for another season of Fire Force. Oh yeah, I watched all of Hunter x Hunter. Some of it twice. I mean, you're going to be hard pressed to find somebody as deeply and well watched in anime as I am.
Seriously.
Yeah, World Trigger was awesome. Why no third season?
World Trigger.
The guy who writes the Capybara?
Yeah. And like they have teams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was good.
So good. You have to remind me what the character looks like, Meru M. I don't remember the names necessarily of everybody. Is he the guy that's like, oh, the Ant King? Well, that's such a sad story arc.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know. I don't normally type characters and things. I think people have NI in their conscious stack are much more likely to want to type characters than I am.
I always do. I do it in real life too sometimes.
Unless something screams out like, this character is a perfectly written meow, then I'll say that. But otherwise, I just think, well, they're characters, they don't have personality types. They just are either accurately written as a possible human being, that is to say, as a configuration that makes sense, or they're inaccurately written, like say Iron Man, who's written as half ENTP, half ENTJ, and just he's written basically with all the sassiness of an ENTP, but none of the deficits.
And like people say that Johnny Depp's character in Pirates of the Caribbean is an ENTP, but I don't agree with that.
Seems ESFP to me.
Yeah. Did you know Keira Knightley actually has come out, so she's the main girl in it. Remember how you said you were like, what was up with that scene when like what's his name, Johnny Depp was like hitting on the girl? She actually like came out and says she was very uncomfortable like with that scene, and she like regrets like that whole scene.
I don't remember what you're talking about.
In Pirates of the Caribbean, remember how he's like a swarthy pirate, and like they're like stranded on an island, him and the main girl character, and they get drunk, and he kind of like tries to put the moves on her. And there's like a big age gap or whatever, and you were like, that was weird. Like, why'd they put that in there?
Oh, I don't even remember.
Yeah,
But it was a totally forgettable movie. I don't remember anything about it.
I mean, it's hard to make a movie about ride.
Yeah, well, I watched a lot of it. I haven't all the way finished the last season of it, but maybe I did actually. I think I did all the way. I think I finished the whole thing. But I thought the last season was not as the last chunk of it, the last arc, I guess. I mean, I finished it. If I find something that's good that I haven't found yet, that's got a bunch of episodes, everybody can just know what I'm doing for the next couple of days.
Yeah.
I'm just watching all those episodes back to back.
I'm just watching.
I'm just dancing. I like it here. I like the lighting. It sounds like Kitty wants to come
Oh
outside.
yeah, trouble is outside.
So, I'm not sure if we have really anything planned for today. Do Jotaro or Giorno strike you as any clear type? I mean, like Jotaro doesn't say much, right? Like, if you're gonna say anything is indicated, might be indicative of any polar. King of the Hill is an American cartoon. That's what I would call it.
Yeah, that's an American cartoon.
There are some good American cartoons.
Alright, like
Not that many, but some.
no. So two American cartoons that I think that are good is The Simpsons and Bob's Burgers.
Yeah, I like Bob's Burgers a lot.
Isn't it like so?
It's super pleasant.
Yeah.
It's comfort food of TV.
Totally. But oh yeah, and Rick and Morty, of course, too.
So in my opinion, anime should basically always be based on manga.
Yeah.
But not that I've ever read any manga, right? I don't want to read manga. But proper anime is based on manga because it's taking the the still images that comprise the manga and turning them into anime. In its leanest form, you just have anime that had like this one still image and then like nothing moving except the pan across the still image and the voices saying the lines to each other. That would be like its purest form. But it's better when you have a little bit of animation in it and a little bit more. I mean, they got it down. It's so they know how much to put in and how much not to, and but sometimes they don't finish on schedule. That's why we had a 6.5 episode this week. Okay, that's fine. The Panther. I'll concede that it doesn't absolutely have to be based on a manga to qualify as anime.
Hmm.
But I'm saying what makes it anime is no, there's Chinese anime. I'm watching one right now. X and Y is Chinese anime.
And technically, isn't like most anime from Korea?
Well,
Like the animation.
not most, but a
Oh,
lot.
okay.
The thing is, the there's different parts of the job. Like but you see in the credits whether it's Korean animators, Japanese animators, Chinese animators. I can always tell. Like one thing I don't like about X and Y is that in they're speaking Chinese, and I don't like the way Chinese sounds as much as the way I like Japanese sounds. But it's like in my ideal world, I'd have it dubbed into Japanese with subtitles in English.
Oh, I get it.
I want Japanese dubs with English subtitles. Because even when there's a potentially good anime, like sometimes I have this on Netflix, it'll let you do that. Um, so if it's in English, I will listen to the Japanese dub with English subtitles.
The only like English dub that I could stand is like any Ghibli movie because I don't know why it just doesn't bother me for some reason. 'Cause, like I feel Ghibli is like so different. Ghibli is like its own thing.
I mean, the thing is, you can't dub so much stuff from Japanese. You can't dub into English and have it play the same
Doesn't
at all.
work.
It's like if you're watching it in Japanese, they go "Atakimasu," and then they dub it to like "Let's eat."
Yeah.
It's like, oh god. It's fine to read "Let's eat" or "Thanks for the food." They translate it in various different ways. But as long as you hear the right sounds, because the more anime you watch, the more you're processing both the sound of it and the words you're reading.
The cruiser stuff is good.
Baka Yaru, complete idiot. Baka idiot. Nanda, what the hell? Or the great thing is Nani.
That's legendary.
Mota mota. I mean, it's like stronger, stronger, or more and more, or something like that. You get to learn to tell the differences between your wakata and your wakata. They sometimes say different ways. I mean, different things. If you were forced to type Jiraiya, what would you think? Now he's like an ENFP
Dryad is
from Naruto. Perby Sage.
Pervy Sage. Pervy Sage.
He writes books. He travels around. He writes romance novels about,
Oh,
and he tries to
yeah.
peep on women.
Yeah.
I think he's ENFP because he writes those books. I'm saying he's wordy, so I'm giving an ENFP rather than ESFP. Yo Waimo. Yo Waimo. Well, anyway, since I've begun watching so much anime, I've begun insisting that people around me refer to me as Eric Domo or Eric Sama. Those are the only kind of honorifics that are acceptable for me.
What does Domo mean?
Like Lord.
Oh.
No Chan, new group. No. No Chan, no Coon. I'm either Domo or Sama. I can let you get away with sensei once in a while. Senpai? That's being
Oh,
presumptuous of you.
Oh. I didn't know that he was an ENFP. I could see that though.
Ecchi, containing sexual themes without being explicit. Date beol. Yeah, it doesn't mean believe it. It just means like it's like don't you know or something. Or it's a regional thing that is a we call what do you call that? A tick, a verbal tick. Sundari, a character who starts off cold and indifferent until you get to know them, then find their warm and gooey center. Maybe TE second, FI third. Could be. Zeta. Zetai. Meaning, absolutely. Zetai is a common term you might hear when someone is determined to stand strong. Zetai Akira Minai. I absolutely won't give up. That's something they say a lot in Japanese. I don't know what the words in Japanese for it are, but is I'm counting on you.
Mm-hmm.
They say that a lot. Weeaboo, an English derogatory term for a non-Japanese person who shows us Japanese culture they will emulate it in multiple aspects of their lives. That's why I'm not a weeboo. A weeb. Weeaboo is generally shortened to weeb, W-E-E-B. But I'm not a weeb. I'm an otaku. Okay? It is in fact the case that I am neat, which is part of being an otaku, N-E-E-T, and that I'm really into anime. So it's not the case, however, that I emulate Japanese culture in my life. You're not gonna catch me cosplaying, going to a maid cafe. I don't even put stickers on my car. I'm a genuine otaku. I probably know more about anime than a lot of Japanese people do.
Trouble's peeking around the corner, so I'm doing sleepy eye.
No, I have no body pillows. Kudere is a Japanese term for a character who appears to not have emotions. They are often stoic and expressionless and remain calm in stressful situations. I appreciate this Japanese lesson here, Mrs. Mom.
Me too.
It's helpful. or Jeremiah fakes as well. There, thank you for that one, Jeremiah. I was so used to it being Winston's mom, I failed to notice that it was you this time. Japoser. Yeah, well, I'm not interested in being Japanese. I don't admire or think the Japanese culture is doing it right or something. I think they're oppressively communitarian and arbitrarily hierarchical, which is to say, hierarchical on an arbitrary metric, namely age.
Yeah, it's very important to them.
My
So,
brother and his wife really love visiting Japan. They visited Japan many times in the past 10 years since they started going. Like once they
Wow.
started going, it's their Hawaii. You know how people always go to Hawaii because they just can't think any other ideas? But they really love it. I think it's great.
I would like to go to Japan one time, but I know it's super expensive. So
That could be a goal.
yeah, maybe
Whatever.
someday. We Tokyo apparently is like the most expensive city in the world, maybe more than New York even. So
I believe it. Now, yes, absolutely.
it's also the biggest city in the world.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
It has like 32 million people.
Oh my god. Wow.
I learned that just last week on the Smithsonian Channel.
Something about that country like really intimidates me. I'm not really because like maybe it's my FE tool. Like I want to like appease to them, even though they're trying to appease to us.
Right. Well, I mean, the thing is, Rachel, you have to try to remember that you, from their perspective, you're already just a tactless, uh, a tactless gaijin, like barbarian, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, I am.
when you start down very low for their opinion like that, then you can surprise them by being more intuitive to their FE shit than they expect, and actually impress them and make a little bit of a positive impression in that regard. It's kind of easier because they're underestimating you. They're gonna get what they expect from me. You know, oh my god, oh
Can
my
I get some
god.
ketchup?
Bring me all this sauce is gone. I like it.
Where's the french fries?
The other thing is, if we did go to Japan, I'd be so uncomfortable because Japan is not made for 6'5" tall people. I'm not really quite 6'5", but 6'4", 6'4.5". I used to be 6'5", but I shrunk a little bit, like half an inch or something, from my tallest point. I guess that's just the effect of gravity on my body, pulling me down to the ground all the time, making me gradually get a little bit shorter. Hello, Blue Jay. That's a Blue Jay call off in the distance. But can hear, maybe you can hear one down there answering that one. There's some bird that keeps going. Burp, burp, burp. I'm not sure what bird that is. That little cheep is from that little sparrow down there. I don't know what makes that sound good. Like, I don't know what that one is. Well, blue jays have an ugly call. It would be good to record the bird calls. Match them up with which birds they are. So I can always tell when walking around what birds are around by just listening. Like that sounded like a goose. There are geese and turkey around here. And quails, blue jays, sparrows, what I call Oreos, which are these birds that look like Orioles, but I don't think they are. There are mocks, which are these little birds that look like hawks but aren't hawks, that I call mocks. I don't know what they're actually called. There's actually hawks. There's vultures too. Big ass vultures. Eat roadkill and stuff. I want to know if a bird does that. Tweet. There's that tweet. 1, 2. I don't know what bird that is either. I don't know what many of the birds are, I guess, is the bottom line. Let's go over here. Let's go look over here for a second. I want to see if whatever trash getter around got into the trash last night. I put something on top of it to prevent the trash getter from getting the trash. But we'll see if it worked. Yeah, it doesn't look like they got into the trash. Only one of these trash cans has any trash in it. And it's the one with the thing on top of it. So, looks like I successfully prevented the trash getters from getting the trash. I wonder what that thing was that was out here last night. I heard it down there in those trees. Like, between them, like rustling around. Maybe it was up climbing it. I'm not entirely sure. If it was climbing it, then it was a raccoon. I couldn't see it with my flashlight. I need a better flashlight. I don't have any good flashlights. I just have shitty flashlights. I need like a good, like, million candle watt freaking flashlight, you know? One of those ones that you plug in, charges the battery. I like these yellow flowers down here. These are nice. Which yellow flowers? this yellow flower. Kind of nice. I don't know what kind of flower it is, but I like it. I also like those red flowers down there too. Doesn't really smell like anything. Just smells kind of like plant. I'll go in and show Rachel. Oh, but this door is locked. Yeah, it is. Well, I'll just have to walk around. Like a walk around Wilbur. I'm a walk around Wilbur with a hell of a scope.
I don't find it to be easy.
I don't know who would say it's easy unless they were just like born to do it.
I think so.
Wow.
Thank you, Eric. I love it.
You're welcome, darling.
That smells so fresh.
Just kind of smells like plant, though, you know?
Like green.
Yeah, it doesn't really smell like a flower. But, it smells better than my butthole.
Oh, yeah.
So, that's good.
Yeah, it smells like the earth.
Mm-hmm. Well, Cameron did a pretty good job of selling me on these kinds of cameras he uses that have a hardware receiving component that lets you store your videos on thumb drives instead of using a cloud service like RAM. I prefer to have an initial cost and then not a sustained monthly charge, you know. So I think I'm gonna get one of those blink cameras and a receiving thing. You need a separate receiver for each camera?
The way it comes, they come in different kits. You can get like one receiver and one camera, or one receiver and four cameras. You only need one receiver, but if you want to end up with like four cameras, it's sort of better to just get a kit that has a receiver and four cameras, then upgrade later. I've got four. Carrot ended up with four at some point, and forget security of the house. It's just like more fun to see the critters. But
I want to see what critters.
I mean, if you really want to see what's going on around your house, it seems like to have only one camera would be kind of futile.
Yeah.
But two is also just very few. But Amazon sometimes has sales where they're a lot cheaper than the normal price. So we'll look up the kit and I'll tell you what it is, and I'll tell you what it probably goes to on sale.
All right, here's the thing, Mrs. Mom. If you're right about that flower, then why is the plant that I picked it from not thorny? There was nothing thorny about it. It looked like a piece of grass that just turned into that flower.
It smells like grass.
Yeah, it's just like grass. There's no thorns on it at all. So mostly what I want, maybe I'll put one camera like over the front door or something. But I mostly want them in the back so I can get pictures of Sasquatch. Because I think the time is ripe for the first really conclusive video evidence of Sasquatch to be captured by me and published by me here on YouTube. Bring the whole world together in consensus that yes, Sasquatch exists and he hangs out at Eric's house.
Okay, so currently the 4-camera system with all this, with this, it's called a sync module that you plug in your wall. It's $339. Typically they'll go on sale by a whole bunch of dollars now and then. If you want me to
Okay.
tell you when they go
No,
on sale.
that's fine. I'll probably get it. I'll think about it for a while. Yeah. It always takes me a while to pull the trigger on purchasing things. There was something else I was thinking about buying last night. I don't remember what it was though.
Oh, do you want to do any TESI stuff? Look at chainsaws and look up manuals for gas-powered things and
Well,
do that
I
sort
think
of
what I'd
stuff?
like to do first is get that power washer running.
Yeah, it's got a manual on it. I could go grab it and we could start.
Yeah, let's go outside and
Looking at
mess around with it a bit.
We'll probably want to bring. Well, I don't know. I don't know how deep the manual gets, but. It's up there.
All right, friends, let's go play with the pressure washer.
And this is all stuff that we're doing too.
And then maybe later on in the afternoon we'll get the chainsaw rolling. I think Cameron's a little worried about me using a chainsaw. I think it'll be fine. I must have left it in here. Yes, I did. There. Now I've opened the a showy wildflower native to northwestern North America. Its common names include giant blazing star and smooth stern blazing star. Star-shaped flower has 5 narrow, pointed petals with skinny yellow surfaces. That sounds like the right one.
Yeah.
And then do the cat litter first. First thing I gotta do is do the cat litter and also take out the cat litter trash.
Maybe that's why he's meowing.
Maybe. It's not like I've been neglecting it. I did it last night.
Oh.
Get your quick start guide.
What's that?
Quick start guide. I'm showing the folks at home.
Oh, cool.
There you go. You've got items included. Got a handle attachment. Startup procedure. All the parts. If only I brought my reading glasses, but I think I can squint and do it. So first, you're going to place outdoors. Then you're going to purge the system. Oh no, that's 7. Okay. Place outdoors. Working CO alarms. Add oil and fuel. Lubricate O-rings. Connect hose. Connect garden hose. Purge system. Connect spray tip to wand to gun. Switch on. Choke closed. Fuel on. Pull recoil. Choke open. Oh, it's only 13 steps. All right, shutdown is switch fuel to off. Fuel off. Oh no, switch power to off, switch fuel to off. Purge system.
I need to pee and eat an antacid. I'll be right back.
Sure. So following step 1, let's put the thing outdoors. Oh, it comes in Spanish too. Has gasoline in it, sweet. It's got a tag that says no oil in engine because it's a 4-stroke, not 2-stroke. That's good to know.
Hey, how's it look?
So many steps. There are 13 steps to start it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it wants me to check engine oil and gas. Oh yeah, I gotta check the oil. Should be over here. That should probably be level-ish. So there's oil between this little line and the bottom. So I'm going to call that has oil. And from my experience, good engines will have an oil shut-off switch, and so it won't run if it doesn't have enough oil. It's got gas in it already.
Was that the sound of that?
Nah, somebody over there.
Oh, I see.
So Eric, I've checked to see if it's got gasoline in here. It's got plenty of gas.
Okay.
I pulled out the oil plug to see that it has oil on it in between a line and the bottom, and it had it. And from there, I placed it outdoors. That's number 1 actually. Place outdoors. Working CO alarms, I don't know. Add oil and fuel, done. Lubricate O-rings. So I guess we have to figure out what the O-rings are and lubricate them.
I suspect that's probably one of the things the guy did yesterday.
That could well be.
Because he
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
various things to it before we took it away. They had to come back
Okay.
for it.
Good to know. Then I'm gonna stick this back in here, and this thing right here looks, yeah, that's an O-ring. That's the thing that the Challenger had go wrong. The space shuttle that blew up.
Oh, right.
The
yeah.
O-ring. Oh no, it was a missing O-ring or
Oh
a
my gosh,
No,
faulty
really?
O-ring?
It was an O-ring that froze, got brittle, and then
Yeah.
shattered.
I didn't know that's the same thing that's on a spaceship.
Well, an O-ring is just a thing that keeps pressure in one space, so it could be on a spaceship or on some, most anything. So what I think I'm going to do, since this is pretty dry, I might just take my finger and put a little bit of this engine oil here on.
You want WD-40?
No, not that, but you know what, we have oil. I'm not going to put my finger in that oil, but I bought you, there's bar oil here, which we just need some sort of oil. So, chain oil, whatever, this is going to be fine.
Okay.
I'm going to lubricate the O-rings with not the appropriate oil, but it's oil, so it should be good.
And you see he's using his finger to lubricate.
Finger.
It is the recommended tool of choice for lubrication projects. It is the finger, the index finger.
Yep. Okay, so this is lubricated, and then there's going to be another end. Shouldn't have cleaned that finger off.
He cleaned his finger too soon.
Yep. That's probably enough ends. I don't know. We'll see.
Premature finger cleaning is one of the #1 risks of undertaking a lubrication project.
Ooh, so it looks like it's a quick connect. The way these work.
Let's take a look at the old quick connect.
Yeah, and let's not spill the oil. That would be a faux pas.
Then we'd be like the Exxon Valdez.
Yep. All right, so quick connects are pretty cool. You don't need wrenches and stuff, but you've got to pull this down as you stick it into the thing you're connecting it to.
Do you need my help?
But this, oh no, this is a screw in. Okay, no, I thought it was a quick connect, but I'm incorrect. It screws in.
Let me move these out of your way.
Sure.
These are my hearing protectors.
All right, Eric, will you do the rest of the screwing on that there?
Okay. There it is. Let's pull this out now. Is it supposed to go through here?
Probably not. We'll figure out a good way for everything to go at some point. For now, it's sort of tangled up. Yeah, okay, if that goes through here, then we'll be sort of untangled. But no, it won't fit because I already have it.
Yeah, let me unscrew this.
Yeah, you can unscrew it and then that'll pop through. Oh, it actually pops out at this point. Okay. So.
Does anyone need anything from inside during?
I thought I had a water with me, but I don't know where I put it.
Okay,
Maybe you could find my water every place.
sure.
I'm all good, thank you.
Okay.
Here, maybe I'll give you, or can I give you this end? Somewhere. I'll give you that to pull on. Pull through this thing maybe. There. And we're almost there. Alright, we're untangled. Probably eventually it's going to wrap around here like that, I would assume.
Okay.
So, I do believe it connects down here. Screws on down here just the same as there. And what is this thing? That'll fit that. But what is that? Oh, the water. That other thing's going to be for the water. Alright, if you want to screw that sucker on.
Sure.
And this sucker can get screwed on up here. So, we've lubricated the O-rings, connected hose. We're going to connect the garden hose.
Mm-hmm.
There's a very new little nut on the floor. Almost makes me wonder if it's from
It's from the
Jenny.
generator.
You know where?
Yeah, the one the feet came off.
Okay, I'll put it up here close to it and we can deal with that.
Okay. A good chance to make this as untangly as possible.
Perfect. And it ought to just screw right onto that little port. So it's connect garden hose, then it's purge system. So why don't you aim this somewhere? I don't know if this is a tip or a blocking thing, but you can man that thing. And does that look like it's a tip? Is this a spray tip? It's not like a shipping
No, I think
blocker or
it's,
something.
I don't
Okay.
know what it is.
Then, for all I know, if I turn on the water purging, like when you pull that handle, it'll spray water out. But it doesn't, it's not specific enough to tell you what purge system means.
Should we turn on the water now?
Yeah, I'll turn it on and, who knows, maybe if you squeeze the handle. But I don't know.
Did you turn it on?
Yeah, it's on, and purge system looks like that. Okay, so that means get air out of the system. Purge means get air out of the system. Oh. I think how do you purge them? So look,
Yeah, I think it's first.
then it says connect spray tip and wand gun. I already did that earlier. But no, what's spray tip and wand gun? Lubricate O-rings, connect hose. We did
part
that.
at the top.
Oh, okay, so that's already connected.
Yeah.
Okay, so then so connect spray tip and wand gun is already on. Switch on is on, if you want to look at the side, it's gonna
It's on.
it'll look like the eye. Or the
Okay, yeah,
one.
it's on. That's
Okay.
it on. So.
Choke closed means choke closed. Does that make sense?
This
An
is-
arrow going this way, and this guy looks like it's the choke going like that would be choke closed, I believe. Pull it that way, right? After it's going to be choke open to the left. So that's choke open. I already looked to see there's gas. Fuel on. The petcock is going to be this guy. Turning it this way. Let's see. Okay, so that's off, which is crossing the path of it, and that's on the other way.
Okay.
So now we've got gas. Pull recoil means yank that sucker. And then we're gonna close the choke after it, either immediately or after it runs, who knows. Huh.
It doesn't pull.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
Okay. It's just a mofo.
Yeah.
Slide the choke. Okay.
connect or quick connect? Is it in there good? Okay, so you gotta work. You wanna see the different ones?
Yeah.
There's another much more lengthy manual that we could read. That's fucking badass. What did the white one do? Just fuzzy?
That's the most fuzzy.
Alright, the
That's
black
the
one.
brightest one so far. We haven't tried this one.
Okay, and it's red, like representing red badassness. Huh.
More on the sweet side. More
The
bitter.
red's the fave. There's a whole thick manual. I don't know if we should read it or what.
Try to get the gray stuff off the wall with that.
Okay. What about right where it's about to peel, like on right here? I bet this spot is the test spot. Yeah, maybe from the side. Yeah, that's it, from the side. It does it, huh? Yeah, I'll try it for a sec, sure. I will give you this and these things, and then we will do like that. Well, this bag actually came with it.
The sound of yard work, what everybody wants to listen to.
You gotta switch off, fuel off, purge system. Whether you switch off, fuel off, purge system. And then
Oh, you're going to turn off the hose then, I guess?
yeah, that makes sense. That looks like a success.
Oh
You
my
know?
God, dude.
Compared to the other way.
Oh my
huh?
gosh, completely.
The crazy thing is that I can even start like in the middle of a spot and just
Yeah, I
slide it
saw
into-
you
Yeah.
do that over on one of the spots, and it just started cracking off.
Well, a couple spots like over here, these are probably gonna be,
fill.
yeah, fill, and you may need a little tiny chisel for like that. Like I got that, I got a couple of these for a long time, and it's a waste of time after you're there for a while. So those are get later, but yeah, you're getting
Right.
all
Really
over.
big spaces.
Yeah, I want to stop right now, but I might come back out later today and do more. of
We
this.
should read that manual though and see how you're gonna destroy this if you don't read the manual. You know.
Okay.
I don't know if you actually have to disconnect that stuff, do you?
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. And I have a feeling that it goes, did he say it goes this way, not that way? My instinct says it goes like this.
But it doesn't touch the ground if you do it the way I did it. It touches the ground if you do it that way.
Alright, that makes sense.
And that's how it can when it's bad.
Cool.
Alright, so just because this will be easier to deal with if this is disconnected, I'm just gonna disconnect it.
Okay.
Okay. I got that disconnected now. Time to disconnect the hooks. This smells like my childhood. It smells like a lawnmower engine.
Yes.
It's a quality lawnmower engine that's not like leaking too much stuff incorrectly too.
I think this was refurbished or something, you know? I don't think this is brand new.
Oh, is that why they had to test it before giving it to us?
Well, it just, I bet new these things cost more than we paid for this. We paid under, well, it was 400 after taxes.
After taxes.
It was $400 after taxes. I think these things are more expensive than that.
I think you're right. Because we were expecting to pay more than that.
Well, I wasn't expecting to get a Honda.
No.
You know, those Hondas are always like stupid expensive.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep all these heads in this bag. It also has a tube that we don't know what the tube is for yet. So this is stuff for us to read about. Yeah. Yes. Sure.
Let me get the hose wrapped up first. Okay, so now what you're gonna get to enjoy is Eric winding the hose up.
This is my favorite part.
So, you don't want this to happen when you're winding up the hose. Thank you, Rachel.
You're welcome.
Like, it's so hard to get the hose so that it doesn't want to twist.
And that's where the trouble comes in, when it twists.
Right. See, I don't know if it's just this hose or it's all hoses. To some extent, it's all hoses. They all take the song do the twist too literally.
You do. That's good.
If you did it again, wanting to do the twist. That's okay.
Right up.
We're just gonna untwist it so that it gets it, that it's not supposed to be like that.
I've had a recent conversation with someone who thought there were hose twisters and hose non-twisters, people who were not capable of creating that twist. And I could see it. I've known people who never would bundle up the hose.
Really?
They don't know how to twist it.
There, that's a twist-free bundle.
That is a very nice twist-free bundle.
I did a great job.
It would take me a while, but I grew up with like sprinklers and stuff, so
You don't have to pull the hose out all the time then.
no. But we did have one of those the things that you wrap it up into. So
Even those
You
you
have
can
to-
mess up if you don't do it right.
yep,
But you can't mess them up too badly. It stops if you mess it up.
yeah.
Are these lines from the power washer?
Oh,
Well, there could be.
It could be scrapes that I put with something else that now are revealed with the power
Or if
washer.
it's wet. I mean, if it's wetness, then it'll go away. If it's extra wetness shoved into the rock, like these, I think it's extra wetness that'll
Oh, okay. it'll just
Dry.
go away.
probably.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's not like there are worms under there making worm passages in like behind bark and trees.
Alright, look at it here. It looks like that, huh?
Yeah, it's a little wormy, but it's also the same squiggle as I'm talking here.
Right.
So it's yeah.
Okay. Good. I'm super pleased with that pressure washer.
Yeah. and
Me
it'll-
too.
I think that the medium duty or light duty thingies would work on your car.
Or
Probably.
on what I need to do it on, which is the paint thing here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, although I do need to wash the little car too. That'll make washing the little car easier.
Yeah, the tires.
And then I'm gonna wait till I get most of this gray stuff off, and then I'll use the pressure washer like a leaf blower, but not done like a leaf blower. And I'll wash it all to a pile over there, but I'll cover that drain. So instead of it all going into the drain, I'll just pile up on top of that drain, and then I'll throw it all away.
Okay.
If you did it right, you might be able to lay a tarp out there. They'd want to go under the tarp. If I were doing it, I would try to get a tarp so that some goes on top of the tarp. And just dump it on the tarp.
Yeah.
Did you make a penis with balls here?
Apparently.
Apparently you're doing pranks.
I didn't know I was doing it.
Yes, folks at home, we've made a prank.
We made a grade school drawing in our immaturities.
I once confiscated from about a third grade boy a little folded paper gun. It was just a piece of paper folded, so it's an L, and it said M-80 on it. He didn't even know what an M80 was. I still had to take the gun. It was Leo's. I always loved the stuff I'd take from Leo. He was great. I never got him in trouble. I just took his stuff. Now it's mine.
There.
I still have it.
That's what he
That's
gets
great.
for having stuff.
Yeah.
Leo can't have that M80 gun in second grade. That's my stuff.
Okay, so do we want to, while we're on a roll here, see if we can get the chainsaw fired up?
It'll probably be pretty simple to do it. If we use it though, I think for the chain, I think we need to watch some videos just to make sure we know what we're doing. As for getting the motor started, I'm sure we can do that.
Well then, okay,
pretty
let's
simple.
put that out there. We'll watch some of these videos, make sure we know what we're doing, etc.
Or at least read some of the manual. That'll
Yeah, okay.
do it.
So, I guess we'll wrap up this stream and maybe have some lunch.
Yeah, lunch sounds good.
We could do French bread pizzas.
Yeah, that's fine by me.
Totally.
We could keep the stream going while we do lunch,
Yeah,
might
that's
as well. No
There's
reason.
Why not?
also even even ravioli still. If you guys want a full Italian meal, I might pop some ravioli in addition.
Go for it.
Sure. I don't want any ravioli, but
Okay.
I'm
Shall I
gonna
close
be
your
different.
garage?
I'll close it with the twanger inside.
Yeah, alright.
Okay. So I will make 3 French bread pizzas from scratch by hand with wheat I've grown in my own fields. And it's going to take me just 20 minutes to do it. Anyway, I'm very glad I got that. Now I have 0 buyer's remorse about that. Alright. Now, French bread pizzas, or FBPs as we call them here, they have 2 different possible cooking times. Possible cooking time number 1 is for your standard FBP or your pepperoni FBP. Those have a cooking time of 18 minutes. Here we've got 2 deluxes and an extra cheese, which means, oh my goodness, big problem with low time. The extra cheese requires 20 minutes, but the deluxe requires 24 minutes. Whatever shall I do? Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to preheat the oven at 400 degrees as instructed. I'm going to put the 2 deluxes in, set timer for 24 minutes. Then I'm going to set a separate timer called my face for 4 minutes. When that goes off, then I'll put the cheese pizza in with the other 2. It's called Good to Eat.
That is good tea.
Now, before you cook these pizzas, you have to cut off the plastics. Like this. Cut, cut. Cut, cut. Cut, cut. Okay, now that you've cut off the plastics, you pick up the plastics and put them right here for a second. Then you get out one of these. And you put, not this one, you put this one without the other plastics. And you put this one right here. And then you take these plastics and you go throw them away. Now, in just 8 minutes and 8 seconds, 5 seconds, 4 seconds, the oven will be preheated. At which point we can insert the FBPs into the oven in order to cook them. It's so pleasant and sunny in here. But you know what? We could open the shutters.
Yeah, we can.
We aren't big shutter openers because it tends to put glare on the TV.
Yeah.
But if we want a nice, bright room, we could always just open a few shutters. Civil engineer Siswandi Zoraida at the University of Kitakaushu developed an approach that involves reducing the amount of sand used in concrete by replacing it with shredded diapers, which are typically made with wood, cotton, and polymers. After testing various mixtures, Zoraida found that between 9% and 40% of the sand can be swapped out for diapers without compromising the strength of the concrete. Better, it also keeps the disposable landfill diapers out of landfills. Well, good for Zoraida. But my question is, what do we do with all the sand that we currently get rid of by making concrete out of it? What, just dump it in the ocean? Or where do they get all that sand from anyway? Sandland? So the oven is preheating currently, Cameron.
Very nice.
When it's done preheating, I'll insert the pizzas.
Sounds good.
Then we'll have 24 minutes till we eat. So if you're starving to death, then you might want to have a small snack.
I think I'll survive till then.
Okay. Look, we could stop filling the landfills with diapers, but then we have to fill the landfills with sand. And it seems like a lot of waste of good sand. I'd rather put diapers in the trash than sand.
Supposedly there's a shortage of sand. I saw a documentary on like certain grade of construction sand. Like there's stuff built out of a type of sand that's no longer available. So if you want to repair something from like the 20s or the 40s that's got cement, you want to match it, you can't.
Really?
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Wow. Who knew about the Chronicles of Sand?
Chronicles of Sand.
But I guess certain sand, you know, we have sand on our beaches, but some other beaches have like a certain sand that they use in construction.
Huh.
Probably like the best sand. Just like, yeah, Camp's still here. It's just like back in the early or the turn of the century in California, houses were made out of old growth trees, and the hardwood was insanely.
Yeah.
It was, you know, it was like in the Craftsman house that I lived at in Laverne, the like main beam thing underneath the house was just massive and made out of some old growth tree and just like amazing wood. You don't get wood that good anymore, you know?
What's up, Michelle Way? I'm here. Tell your husband I bought an Onyx LZR e-bike. BISTJ husband.
Okay, I think I need to clean this bong now.
You want to dump it in my bong dumping tank?
No, I'll clean it in the sink like I always do.
Is there a lighter I could use?
You could use this one.
Thank you.
I'll take you with me to clean this bong.
All this box from Amazon. Yeah, that's a serious issue.
My little buttercup had the sweetest smile. Gee, little buttercup, oh, won't you stay a while? We could have a meow meow with a meow meow built for two. Oh, my little buttercup, sweet little buttercup, smile little buttercup, I love you. You think you're done, and all of a sudden a bunch more comes out, huh? I accidentally squirted water all over the place. There. And now the pizzas go in. Time it. 1, 2, 3, 4. I thought an even better way to eat. So you gotta time it for 4 minutes, put the other one in, and time it for 20 minutes. That's a better way to do it.
Swap meet or whatever, you're on a college campus. But what I hate is like the people so pushy they force you, you know. I don't talk about their thing, especially that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Michelle Way, she's been saying stuff to me on the texter.
Oh.
Michelle Way, it's called the Onyx LZ, as in zebra, LZR. And so far it's a fun e-bike with a mid-drive.
Trump made my mother didn't keep African violets, but my grandmother did
Like in
in the house.
oh wow, I used to do that. That was one of my spring things that I would do. I would buy myself a little pot of African violets and keep them in my room.
Well, once Mom points out we got a perfect sink top ledge for them, we might get some, you know.
Yeah,
Or some other kind of inside plant.
sure.
My mother believed that all the plants basically should produce some kind of food. She liked to plant things that made tomatoes or peas or lettuce or Swiss chard. She grew eggplant, cucumbers, zucchinis. Um,
Okay, in her past life, she must have been like one of the first like in society, like when they started to farm, like she was like head.
well, she spent like, you know, all of her free time that my dad didn't drag us out of town, listening to Dodger games in the summer. She had the summers off, you know. She'd listen to Dodger games and she'd putter in the garden all day. And she tried to use everything she grew too. So that was sometimes not fun. If mom had a shit ton of leeks,
Oh, you're screwed.
A lot of leeks.
You're eating
a lot
zucchini
of
too
leek
much.
soup, so much leek soup, you know.
And that's like kind of, and so it's a little bit hard for me to hear because I like leek soup, but I think that if it was that much
Potato leek soup specifically.
potato leek soup.
Potato leek soup, we had so much potato leek soup, and it was good, but I just got so
Yeah,
sick of
you
it.
get sick of it.
I
Of
just got so
course.
sick of it.
I got a small garden patch on purpose. I'm not trying to like
You do have a nice one.
do anything but a little something. I'm gonna eat all those tomatoes. I'm gonna eat all those strawberries, and not worry about, you know, waste or especially giving people shit they don't want. I've been there with garden stuff. Like, there's no reason to grow stuff for other people, for sure.
I mean, like, I'll give my extra whatevers to whatever.
Even my neighbor wants some of my
Yeah.
multi lettuces that I grew. No, they don't want my lettuces.
My mom would give mostly the things that she would give would be the stone fruit that we had extra stone fruit. But she didn't make preserves, so she made a lot of like fruit, which she would call tarts, which were like basically like a thin pie crust with some like sugar goo spread on it, and then pieces of fruit on top of it.
Nice. A tart.
Yeah.
Fruit tart. Yeah, that's simple. It's French.
That's
It's
okay,
simple. Like, French cuisine is supposed to be simple and tasty, and no reason to put everything in some dish.
Well, your mom liked Julia Child, right?
Oh yeah, I watched a lot of Julia Child with her.
I forgot that Julia Child was on TV.
Oh, she was such a whole thing.
I can't believe I forgot
What?
that she was on TV. I just
Yeah, we used to watch that show. My mom and me watched her cooking show together. You know, I did a lot of nice stuff with my mom. Pleasant stuff, SFJ stuff, you know, Alpha Quadra stuff. That was nice. She, unlike my dad, did not try to get me to help her do things in the garden. She was doing her own thing for her own pleasure, right? And so, but one thing we'd like to do is in the mornings, we'd walk around all the garden and together, my mom and me, and we'd look at the progress of all of the various foods. Like, oh, these are coming into pea now. You know, we're getting peas, we're getting sweet peas. And anyway, she really enjoyed it. And she also, when I got a little older, she began composting. Maybe when I was in my teens or something, she began composting. And she composted everything. Every bit of vegetables that we didn't use, she put in the Cuisinart to make them all into puree and pour that into the compost. She put all the eggshells, coffee grounds, everything like that in there, and she'd stir it frequently. And once she started composting, the garden just went fucking bananas. It was just like there's so many things. When she was in the heart of her prime period, you know, she was really, considering how little land we had, she was really doing a lot with it.
But this is my tomato camera,
that's the stack.
and this is the buck that was in my yard. Check out how awesome he is.
He's so awesome. We haven't seen any deer with horns yet. Wow.
That's why I love those cameras. Like, I don't want to be paranoid and worried someone's stealing shit from my house. I want to see animals. You know,
I
if you
wanna
think
know
you want
what's-
cameras for safety, like, oh, you'll just be more nervous.
Well, my mom turned all the back beds after things went to seed in the fall. She turned all the back beds into compost piles, and which she'd compost until spring or planting time. She just plant directly into the beds. During the rest of the season, she had one square area that was for compost, and then she later got one of those turner things, but she never ended up using it. She just kept using the dirt, and she just turned it with a shovel, you know.
The worst thing in the world is to use those turning things because you get your face all in it. You breathe the smell of everything dissolving into gases. It's not a good smell.
I love huffing compost gas. It's a dirty high, but I like it.
Where'd your mom like get the idea to compost?
I don't know. Yeah, probably she read about it in the LA Times garden section. Would be
People
my
do that
guess,
stuff.
you know, back in the days. And then the garden section probably said, can you really turn trash into garden gold?
We had one in
It's
my
like when
backyard.
before composting was a major thing, right? It's like, yeah, I can just picture that story and my mom being like, "Ooh, composting."
Oh my gosh, that's so great.
This is just speculation on my part.
I bet you're right. I can see that so well. I can picture that.
I didn't realize as a kid that it wasn't like some gross thing my dad did by making the compost heap in the backyard because it stunk. It was gross. Like I had no idea till decades later that was like a good thing to be doing that.
Well, our compost heap did not smell.
Yeah.
It did not. It was
Wow, that's lucky.
well because of the way my mom did it, right? She put everything in the Cuisinart first,
Right.
pureed it, and then poured it into there.
That is smart.
And we didn't put lawn clippings in there. Those just went into the trash can. Back before we had the green trash can, we just put them in the trash can.
So it's like purely for composting.
I don't think the lag's strong. I think we've got good bandwidth right now. I can tell by how it looks on my screen here. It's high resolution. So it means problem's probably on your end. Anyway, Mom made a lot of food, and I remember she used to be very like harumphy about our family friend Maureen because Maureen didn't like the idea of eating salad from the garden because it might have a bug on it.
I want it from a factory.
My mom was like, "Well, what does she think lettuce comes from the store comes from?"
That's funny. I was just thinking the same thing.
Jeez.
Cam Moto, Michelle Way's husband said your bike is more of a hardball dirt jumper bike.
Yeah, I'm looking up this Orbi thing. Looks badass, but yeah, mine is so simple that I really do like it. It doesn't have a lot of stuff that's gonna break. No derailleur, no. What I call the derailleur is aids. Okay, I don't use that word about everything, but the thing that shifts your gears on the bicycle chain, it's aids. So my e-bike doesn't have a derailleur. It's not gonna break.
So you're saying a derailleur is the equivalent of a bicycle having aids.
I just call it aids. It's just straight up the name.
Full blown, no less.
Yeah.
Like our cat.
Our cat has aids.
Your cat's badass.
Thanks.
Yeah, you know, and he's fine. He's too tough for aids.
Yeah, I know. Like
He is too tough.
he really is.
And AIDS literally is badass. Literally.
Well, not necessarily, but
Some kind.
the regardless,
He's
he's not afraid of anything either. He should be more afraid.
Mhm.
I'm worried about him last night because he kept wanting to go out and figure out what it was that was out there.
Yeah.
But he probably knows it was just a raccoon, and he knows that he could probably be fine, like get away from it, no problem. But I bet if it had been a big cat, like a bobcat, or if it had been like a bear, he probably wouldn't have been so curious. Or a coyote, I don't think he would have been so curious. So probably it was just a raccoon. But still, he doesn't communicate to me why he feels so confident outside right now, and I don't trust his judgment.
He is outside right now. Oh.
Oh, I don't mind him being outside right now during the day. I'm not worried about him getting preyed on during the day. The predators like coyotes and stuff, it's possible one come around here, but they're going to be skittish of people out and about doing everything and try to
Yeah.
avoid people. Even the turkeys, when I'm feeding them, when I go out there, they see me, they scurry away.
Yeah, they're very skittish.
Quails were skittish too, so it's like I'm not worried about predators coming around here that are going to eat our cats during the day. I'm worried about
Right.
nighttime when it's dark and I can't see what's out there at all. And like last night, there was definitely something skulking around our house. Best case scenario was a raccoon. Worst case scenario was a bobcat or a coyote. Those are the most threats to the cats, I think.
Hmm. You know
So
what
you
that
guys-
reminds me of?
What's that?
Naked and Afraid.
Yeah,
When there's like an animal around the boma.
right.
and
Around our boma,
they
there was.
hear the sound, but they can't tell what it is.
Yeah.
Since you had your trash can lid taken off, but it not being dumped over, that definitely says raccoons are around here to me. And if they're here once, they're gonna be here a lot. Like I bet a lot of people have probably managed their dog food and managed their trash for years and years, and that's how I would see it.
Well, I don't mind the raccoons being around here. I do mind them getting into the trash. I don't mind them eating the woodland cutlets that the birds and squirrels
Right,
don't
yeah.
eat. They can eat those all they want.
Mhm.
I wouldn't even mind putting out some woodland cutlets for them if I knew where they were going to be or something.
You need a worm garden. That's what they like grubs. Coons are grub eaters.
Mm.
They dig under rocks and find worms and smushy stuff you eat if you're on Survivor. That's what they like.
I don't want no grubs. A grub is a thing that I don't get no love from me. 'Cause it's all gross and slimy. Put it in my mouth, makes me super whiny.
That's good.
Weird Al Yankovic made a career out of doing just that.
True.
He's saying that one day in his living room, and he's like, there we go, it's a hit. I'll make a dorky ass video, and everybody will love it. But he's so not good, though. But I mean, he is very successful.
Yeah, my sister like used to buy his CDs.
It's possible he's an ENTP, but it's also possible he's an INTJ.
Oh. That changes things. I don't think he's an ENTP. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe. I don't think so.
What do you think he is? Weird Al Yankovic.
That's tough because I never personally thought he was funny. Like I went along with my friends because they were like into him, but like I just didn't find him funny.
Comedy music in general is a very difficult combination to make work.
Yeah. But my sister liked him. She liked comedy CDs though. I think she liked some other stuff. I can't remember. But all right. So if I were to guess what Weird Al Yankovic He names himself that. I don't know. Maybe ESFP. I was originally thinking ENFP.
That's a possibility, but I don't know. There's something INTJ-ish about him. Like, for example, there's a song "I'm Bad," and he parodies it with "I'm fat." It's it's abusively NI.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like be a little more clever than that. Like, I don't want no grubs is more clever than that.
You know, at the time he was doing that, it was a lot more acceptable to fat shame. I think
I'm
now,
not talking about that aspect of it.
Just
I'm
as
just saying
uncreative.
that it's it's doing very little extrovertedly intuitive work, right?
yeah, it's not very difficult to come up with that song.
Anyway, you think Charlie Chaplin is funny? Well, you think wrong.
He's pretty serious, actually.
He was the last guy who was able to have a Hitler mustache.
Yeah.
Jeez, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Now nobody gets to have one anymore. I'm thinking maybe I should go for a Hitler mustache.
You might get a whole different set of fans. new fans, because Hitler mustache? Question mark? Is it a good idea?
Snail balancing act is genius. I've never seen snail balancing act, but in general, I find physical clownings to be largely inadequate. Occasionally, there's an exception. Obviously, Fred Armisen dancing in the street is an exception, but by and large, you can't do good comedy with physical jokes. Steve Martin could pull a few of them off. We watched a bit of an old Steve Martin stand-up thing, and it, you know, it required a little more patience from me than I was willing to afford it.
I felt the same way.
So, but I get it. It's like it's Steve Martin in his time, to the extent that what he's doing is responding and speaking to the environment in which he was doing it. It's right on the money, but it has some of that stuff has lost relevance. Like his whole shtick was kind of like an answer to increasingly politicized, horrible comedy. Um, and so, and or edgy stuff. He said, I'm going to go the opposite direction. I'm going to put an arrow through the head. I'm going to do comedy for dogs. you know, he went silly, and he was brilliant to do so. But to some extent, his stand-up act that we started watching a bit of, it revealed that in that live venue, in that moment in time, what he was doing was working great because it it had the benefit of being so much better than everything else around it. But now the distinction that it has from its contemporaries is no longer a relevant factor in your aesthetic experience. So that's my explanation. I love explaining things about comedy and humor. I like explaining jokes, like analyzing jokes. You know,
I mean, that you are a person that needs to be on SNL because they seriously are lacking in writing for comedy.
You watched it lately? SNL?
Well, we don't watch it on TV, but I watch clips.
Clips.
Yeah.
You know.
I haven't seen the new stuff at all. I gave up on it so long ago. I like the earlier stuff.
The most recent thing that was funny was the guy who woke up from a coma.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was funny.
Let's stick a pin in that. Let's put a pin in it.
It was funny.
And then the lady's like, why is he putting a pin in everything? Yeah, that was a funny one. Oh my god. Anyway, but what would be good, what I would like to do, it sounds fun and interesting, would be to make some videos that are just me analyzing a joke I hear or one that I come up with. Sometimes I come up with good jokes. I've come up with plenty of good jokes, but I don't have them. I don't remember them or keep a log of them or anything like I should really. I just remember my recent jokes that I've made up, like what do you call Helen Keller juggling 6 dead babies? Impressive. There's another joke I made up recently that I was very fond of. Well, there's that joke. This is what it sounds like when the doves cry. I made some other jokes recently too. I don't remember them all, but I should, it's like I would like to spend some time rewatching old streams, excerpting out things, or at least making notes about ideas that I thought were funny or liked a lot or whatever that I just completely forgot about, and do just a better job of SI assemblage of yeah, but it was a good joke and it's not genuinely offensive. For example, I'm a fake dead person. It's my choice.
As long as you say I identify as, then no one can deny you what you say.
People discriminate against me because I'm a fake dead person. But I say, hey, I can give you everything a real dead person can, but I can hear you. Now that's a good joke. You want a deluxe pizza, Cameron, or an extra cheese?
Probably extra cheese, thank you.
Okay. I'm gonna use the good plates.
Woo. I had a skunk in my yard at 3 in the morning. Back to the cameras.
You know what Tiffany does every time she sees a skunk?
What's that? Oh, thank you.
She says to it, "Y'all stink!" Is that the whole joke? Or is there another part to it? Probably. It sounds to me, Michelle, as though you just need to fast forward 15 minutes. Any word on Cam Moto about MTB? It's all of it.
About what?
MTB. I don't know what that is.
The mountain bike, but I'm not sure what the question is actually.
I think she's saying she missed what you said. We're not gonna repeat it. Go back and listen to it. I like that joke. Although I think it would be better. He replies, "I lack metacognition." This should be the joke. A prostitute is giving fellatio to a retard and stops and asks, "What do you think?" And he says, "I don't know. I lack metacognition." that's a better joke. That's a better joke. Oh well, okay. If that's if that's the if that's a joke, you need to structure the joke a little bit differently because your joke's too under the radar to get. So you'd have to say it like this, like he says. He replies, "You're the one who's tasting it," or something like that. How should I know you're the one who's tasting it? Something like that. But I like my joke better. A prostitute is giving a mentally retarded person fellatio. And she says, "What do you think?" And he says, "I don't know. I lack metacognition."
That's good.
Okay, well, I get it, Fiakokiak. That's fine. I understand the struggles there. You're translating it from another language where some of the implications, I got you. But it's a good joke. I like it. But I like my joke even better. Because my joke, it makes the first part a red herring. It's a false lead. A prostitute is giving fellatio to a mentally retarded person. She pauses and says, "What do you think?" Nobody's gonna see my joke coming at all. I don't know. I lack metacognition. It makes all the prostitute fellatio part just unnecessary false leads. That's what makes it extra good. Maureen is a funny name. Maureen, my mom actually had two friends named Maureen. She had Maureen Bryant and she had Maureen Tasker. Two different Maureen. How many of you can claim to be friends with two different Maureen? My mom could make that claim.
Yeah.
My mom was friends with a Barbara. How many of you know a Barbara? And get this. Guess what the last name of the man Barbara married was? Barbarics.
Barbara Barbaric? Wow.
That wasn't her maiden name, but that was her name that I knew her as. And my mom called her, everybody knew her as Barbara Barbarics.
It rolls off the tongue.
I know, it really. There's a lot of bar in that name.
Mm-hmm.
Barbara Barbarics.
Barbarics.
Barbarics is a weird name. It's a last name, right?
I haven't heard it before.
It's like the tomfoolery about barbarians qualifies as barbarics.
Hmm.
Like the antics of barbarians. I'm lazy seasoning me some water.
What?
Oh, I'm just talking to the people.
Pretty ironic name for the inventor of a pretty efficient device. You know, I guess she's lazy, but she, gosh darn, earns a title.
I think the Lady Susan is really a commentary on the owner. You're Susan in the equation.
You know what? We could change Karen. We could add Susan to the whole Karen thing. You're just lazy. You're just a
So you mean lazy Karens or Susans?
Now, Karens are pains in the ass who make up, fake things and call police. But yeah, Susans are just not. I'd just rather Susan it right. Susan won't pick up the phone.
I'm a lazy Susan because in order to move this table, sometimes I do this with my foot. Now that's lazy. This way I don't have to lean forward with my hand.
Are you good with the napkin?
I got him. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm good. Thanks for the pizza, Eric.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
I mustered up all of my Italian heritage, plus all my French heritage to make these French bread pizzas. That's what it requires to make a French bread pizza. Double heritage. And now, a song for you. I was tuning in the shine on the late night dial, doing everything my radio advised. With every one of those late night stations playing songs, bringing tears to my eyes. I was seriously thinking about hiding the receiver when the switch broke 'cause it's old. They're saying things that I can hardly believe. They really think we're getting out of control. Radio is a sound salvation. Radio is cleaning up the nation. They say you better listen to the voice of reason. But they don't give you any choice 'cause they think that it's treason. So you had better do as you were told. You'd better listen to the radio. I want to bite the hand that feeds me. I want to bite that hand so badly. I want to make them wish they'd never seen me. Some of my friends sit around every evening and they worry about the times ahead. But everybody else is overwhelmed by indifference and the promise of an early bed. You either shut up or get cut up. They don't want to hear about it. It's only inches on the real. And radio is in the hands of such a lot of fools trying to anesthetize the way that you feel. Radio is a sound salvation. Radio is cleaning up the nation. They say you better listen to the voice of reason. But they don't give you any choice because they think that it's treason. So you had better do what you were told. You better listen to the radio. It's a good song.
Good job. That's not an easy one to sing.
A nice song. Okay, I'm going to end the stream now. And we will see you later. Thanks for being here. You are the sparkle in my mauve rainbow.
We're eating cheese.
Yeah.
You.
Are you? Good question. Thanks for being here.